Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Touching Tips, a podcast dedicated to the world of PSVR.
What the fuck is this?
And here we go. We should be live. Test. I've unmuted you, I think. I'm not seeing your bar bouncing though when you're talking, so I'm a little bit worried that people aren't hearing you. Can people hear Muzz? Muzz test. 1, 2, 3. I see Fozzie Bear. Ray Schwartz is peeping. No, they can't hear you. Okay. Cool. We're having lots of issues today, which is cool. Monitor and output is on, so... No, that's on. That has to be my side, yeah, but I don't understand why. I'll just set it to something different. Speakers. Okay, try talking now.
Test. Can you guys hear me?
There we go. Although that went really high up. So was that too loud? Did that blow out your eardrums?
Quieter test. Quiet test.
Yes, we hear Muzz. Yes, we hear you. Bit loud. Yep. Okay, I'm going to turn Muzz down a touch. Good. Loud. Okay, I've turned it down a bit. So that should be okay.
So regular talking voice is okay now. Hopefully.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you might be wondering where fucking Mr. Jackpot is right now. He is attending to his dozens of family members. He said he will join late, or he'll try to join late, so he might pop in at any time later on. So I'll have to adjust the cameras and whatnot when he does do that, but it should take just like a second or two. So there you go. It's just gonna be me and Muzz, you know.
Just us.
Shamrocks in the maple syrup, if you know what I'm saying. Muzz, how have you been?
Tired. Too much work.
Tired?
Fucking work. Yeah.
Right. You know, you don't have to do these if you don't want. You know, I don't want to.
No, I don't mind doing
them. Do these or whatever.
No, it's all right. I just I was stuck at work a little bit longer because of people calling in sick, which sucks. Covering for people.
Bitches. I can't talk though because I call in sick sometimes. Sometimes just to watch like a PlayStation event, I will call in sick just to stream us or whatever. But don't tell anyone.
Fair enough.
Let me check the chat and see who's here. We got Donnie here. Jackpot himself is lurking in the chat. LSB is there shaking his head. Donnie says uncalled for, changing my name so you can't find me anymore. But I don't know what he means when he says uncalled for, because I don't think anyone addressed him before that. LSB says, when is Muzz? Yeah, because Muzz was having some mic issues there, but Amanda came to the rescue and sorted everything out.
Yep.
So that's why we're running a little bit late. Fozzie Bear, how you doing? Ray Schwartz. And then thank you, Solid Justice as well, for letting me know about the audio stuff and whatnot. We do have a lot to talk about, at least a lot of topics. I don't know if we'll go in depth on them, like a lot of them. Some of them are just like really short, you know, blips. The Pumpkin and Canada show?
Canadian.
I don't see that. Like, I just see a CA as like, you know, I messed them up in my head mentally. LSB says, I told Dice to be a special guest and take Jackpot's place for this episode. He laughed at me. Damn. Laughing at us? No, I see how it is. We'll get our revenge on him soon enough.
Those uppity Quest people.
I know. They just start looking down your nose for, even though they have like no exclusives. It's crazy. And Donnie's saying a lot of people. So should we jump into the first topic?
Yeah.
Open
this
up the
game
list
game looks good.
This game does look good. It is Arken Age, and as you can see on the screen there, it's from Vitruvius. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Vitruvius VR. Those are the people who made Shadow Legend VR. I don't know if you played that, Muzz, on PSVR 1.
Yes.
Yes, there we go. We're on the same page. I don't know. Wait, what's your opinion on it? Like,
I wasn't like really fond of Shadow Warrior, to be honest. But like
Shadow Legend, now is that a different game?
Or Shadow Legend.
Sorry, okay.
No, just said it wrong. This one looks like a pretty good upgrade, though.
Okay.
Looks like.
So I really liked Shadow Legend, even though it was like low budget and it was short, indie and stuff. But like they really put effort into it. Like, you know, you could kind of feel it that it was. And there's so many like VR interactions and stuff. The way you were climbing and picking up every single thing, feeding your carrots to your horse, you know,
Yeah.
cooking a steak or whatever. I can't remember what the other stuff was, but I do remember really enjoying this. Like music was like low budget, not great, and like voice acting and whatever else was in the game was all low quality. But you know, this game, Arken Age, looks like a massive step up, at least in those areas.
Yeah.
So yeah, a bit of details about the game. It's a sci-fi fantasy adventure game. It's expected to release in the first half of 2024. There's a beta if you join the Discord, but I'm going to assume that won't include the PSVR 2 version. I don't know. Maybe it will. It's a single player game.
Why
I don't know. They seem to like when it comes to VR games anyway, that we seem to get left out of betas a lot. You know that mannequin game that fast travel games are working on now? There's like betas going on for that, but you can only do it on Meta or
Yeah, I guess that's
PC
true.
or whatever.
Like,
I think it costs them money if they want to do betas on PlayStation.
of course, Sony would.
I think
No.
I'm guessing, but there's probably like way more hoops to jump through with Sony than there is anywhere else.
That's another thing we have to get to is that lawsuit against Sony.
Oh, is this the UK gamer thing?
Yeah, the UK
Okay.
gamer.
Okay, I didn't look into that
Sony's
too
thing.
much, so if you've got the information on this, I'm looking forward to hearing it.
I don't know too much. I just know that they're getting sued for a lot of money because of how much they've been ripping people off.
But that's like, it's because of the 30% thing, isn't it? Like they take
Yeah.
30, but don't Microsoft and Nintendo and Steam, like they all take the same, like nearly the same, if not the exact same?
I think they're overcharging European players more though for some reason. That's what I understand. Like they're
Sony shafting me? Why Sony?
yeah, you're part of the ripped off people.
Why would they do this to me? Why? Anyway, physics-based combat is like a big focus in this, and you're going to have both sword combat and you're going to have your futuristic-looking weapon, like firearms, I should say. Sorry. It's going to have a 10-hour campaign. Plus, there's going to be a mode. They haven't detailed this, but they're calling this like an endlessly replayable mode that's going to be there too. So there you go. What do you think? Thoughts on this one, Moz?
I think it looks impressive. Like it, even just from the audio that I hear, like when the robots are coming down, like I like that mechanical noise that they're making. If you know, it's like that, like really like a lot of bass, like rumble in the mechanics when they drop down and they make that like I don't know how to say it, but you hear it like in the trailer there.
Well, I hope you're not hearing it now because it should be muted.
No, I mean like when you're watching the trailer,
okay,
you hear it when the robot drops down, like just the noise it makes. It has like that cool sci-fi like
Okay, nice.
mech sound.
I wonder, is this like all Shadow Legend money, or have they got like an investor or something? Because this is a big step up production.
I don't know
value.
how long have they been working on it. I
don't think
didn't
they've
hear
done-
anything about this game.
I don't think they've done another game after Shadow Legend, so they must have started working on it not too long after that.
Yeah,
would
like have you heard this title?
No, this is
Like
this came out of nowhere. I never heard of this, and the
Yeah,
trailer just dropped.
I
I
thought
was
so.
like, oh, what is this? You know. So it
At
seems
first I
they're
thought like,
brand
man,
new.
I thought I maybe missed something. I thought it was like
Yeah.
maybe did I hear this game and then I forgot about it because like nothing was shown.
I don't think so,
Yeah.
because like I would have been excited about the Shadow Legends people developing
Yeah.
a new game. So
Yeah,
if it
exactly.
was just this trailer by itself, by the way, I would have been like, oh, maybe it's good, maybe it's not. But it's because it's them developing this, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and you're a fan of them.
I am.
Big.
I really.
I didn't mind the first. I didn't mind the first game. It
I
just
got the
didn't grab me.
platinum
I
on
guess.
it. It had a platinum when I got
Whoa, nice.
it. And Move Master.
I
Mickey
still
said-
only got the one platinum.
What?
the one-
Oh, not. I'm gonna say No Man's Sky, but probably not that one. No.
No, Firewall, 0 hour.
Oh
That's
shit!
my only.
Oh, that
that's
fucking
my-
long shot, you bitch.
It's my only platinum I have on
Nice.
PlayStation.
Very nice. It's a good one to have.
Yep.
Not easy to get that one. LSB says this game has a very interesting style. Move Master Mix says, is someone missing? There is, but you wouldn't really notice, would you? You wouldn't.
Nah.
You know? I'm thinking we're going to have the third guest just be a GIF. Looping it there.
I'm amazed. I was expecting you to have some like thing made up to be like on his screen or something, but you
I
you
do
let me
have-
you let me down there.
I
You let me down there.
do. It says Latinx and proud. You don't see that?
No, I meant like a
Oh, like an
like a
actual
picture,
video.
like yeah, like
Okay,
or
yeah.
not a video, but like just like a like a still frame or something.
Okay. I was thinking about having Jordan Peterson being there like Lupin, but I was like, I don't have time. Don't have time for this. But yeah, well, Robert Allslop is here. He says 3 years, so it's been in development for 3 years.
Yeah, I thought I heard that they've been working on it for a while.
Oh, there you go. And it looks like, it looks like it's fairly polished.
It looks like it. It looks like it has like a little bit of everything. Like you swim, you can climb, like free climbing. They say from the sound of it, like when the guy was talking, it sounded like you can just climb like whatever. Like you're gonna use your hooks, like and like free climb anything that you see.
Yeah. Well, Shadow Legend was kind of like that too. Like you could just like grab onto all these things and it just felt natural. But maybe not as like not everything. There's probably like specific ledges and stuff, but it felt natural enough.
Yeah. It'd be cool if it has like the like that Zelda Breath of the Wild's kind of like whatever you see, you can just use your hooks and just climb up a wall. Like whatever wall you see, you can just climb anything.
Except not running out of stamina. Don't make me fall. Solid Justice says it is because Sony only allow you to buy on PSN. With the other consoles and Steam, you can buy codes for games in stores, so there's more options.
Okay. I see.
You can buy codes for games, like specific games on Xbox. Because I haven't seen that. I know you can buy the currency, but you can do that on PlayStation as well. So I don't. Maybe it is specific games. I don't know. Movemaster and Make loved Shadow Legend. There we go. We got another fan. Didn't they make Marvels? Yes, they did. But I think that was before Shadow Legends, wasn't it? Marvels VR. I never really looked into that one. But I think that came before Shadow Legends. AI Jackpot. Yeah, an AI Jackpot would be cool.
We would never need him again. He would just be AI.
You just have all this encyclopedic knowledge about everything.
Yeah.
Master Mix says, "Is this our Assassin's Creed Nexus?" Well, I don't think it's been described as like open world. I think the levels are fairly open, but not. Don't expect to be going through a big city with loads of NPCs walking around like that.
This honestly looks more interesting to me than Assassin's Creed Nexus.
Damn.
Like I like the style more than Assassin's Creed Nexus.
But it is coming to multiple platforms, so not a PSVR 2 exclusive. If you're someone out there who prefers to play on your Quest or something like that, that's your business, you freaks. All right, but yeah, this is on my list to watch. I'm excited about this one.
Those are like the boss encounters. It looks like the boss encounters are pretty cool looking too. Like lots of dudes. Like a lot of firepower coming at you that you have to dodge and stuff.
Bit of bullet hell. So I don't know. Is there anything else we want to say about this? 8 out of 10 for Mick in terms of the excitement. That's not bad.
Yeah, I'm like hovering between an 8 and a 9 on this one. Like 10 hours is a pretty decent length. I was hoping that they would say something like 20 or 30 hours for like the style. Like I thought it would be more like a longer gameplay. But if they have that mode that you can keep replaying it, hopefully that's good enough to keep you going back.
And keep in mind, like I'm nearly sure Shadow Legends was like 2 dudes. Like the credits came up and it was like 2 names in the credits, and then the credits were over, and that was it. So probably hard to do like a 30-hour single player campaign. Well, they could have expanded since then. I don't know anything about them, but yeah.
I'd rather it be like super quality and be 10 hours than like 30 hours and
100%.
Janky. Yeah.
Agreed.
It looks like it's pretty polished. When I was watching the trailer, I was trying to see when he's stabbing those robots there. Mm-hmm. Does it no matter where you stab them, it makes that like that stabbing thing, or do you think it's like a specific spot? So if you're going to stab them, it always just chooses that one spot on the chest to make that like
penetrate, like
to make like the animation of like the sword sticking in the robot, or would you be able to like stab it like from the side and it would still make that same like little mark where your sword is stuck in?
Good question. Like they have been like highlighting or putting an emphasis on physics-based combat, so it might be free.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You can chop the head off. That's cool.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I haven't like analyzed the trailer or anything like that to look so in depth to notice things like that. But I mean, I guess we wait and see. I'm not going to say one way or the other. Hopefully, you can just like stab them anywhere, stab them in the ass, clap some cheeks,
chop the arms off, maybe.
Yeah, all kinds of good stuff.
And do we have a date? Does it say a date?
No, just the first half of 2024. So
Yeah.
that could be June for all we know, but still not too far away, seeing as it's just been announced. Danny says
Another one to look forward to.
Exactly. Danny says the trailer for this game looks good as long as it plays well, and if there's a possibility for DLCs, even more so. Robert Allsop says check their Discord. There's more info there. Thank you, Robert.
Nice.
I will check that out when I get a chance. Always with the ass stabbing, says Donnie. It is indeed. So you ready to move on to the next one, Mr.
Yeah.
Mose?
It has really good music too. Good quality audio.
Take his word for it because I'm not playing the audio here. Next one is this. I don't know if you've heard of this one, Ilysia VR. Have you heard about this game? Like it's already out on Quest or something.
Nope.
It's not the most visually stunning game, but it is a like virtual reality MMO RPG, so that's like rare enough.
Okay.
But they recently put out a roadmap, and on the roadmap, they've listed for the Q1 2024 to have a PSVR 2 release. So this game is coming to PSVR 2. At least it's supposed to be. The reason I say that is because loads of the comments underneath this post, I think it was a Reddit post I saw it on, everyone was like, these developers are always delaying things and always pushing things back, and there might be like troubled development there, so it's kind of a wait and see situation. I don't really know anything about the developers. I don't know anything about the game other than it's a MMO, and honestly the trailer's not doing too much for me.
Yeah, like what's that other game that was not that long ago that I was talking about?
Oh, the Dungeon Crawler or Dungeons of Eternity, or
Yeah, that one. That one looked visually better than this one.
But that wasn't is that an MMO?
One of them is. Maybe that's not the one I was talking about.
Okay. Well, I know like Zenith or Zenith, whatever you say. I think that's the only other one, at least on PSVR.
No, Dungeons of Eternity. That's like a dungeon crawler. That's like 4-player co-op.
Yeah.
There's another one. There's another one that I saw, and I totally spaced in on the name of it. But that one's like an MMO, and when I was talking about it, it was like a month or more ago when I brought it up, and it was because it was like the next MMO.
I think
it was like the next MMO that looks like it's like pushing a lot further than Zenith, kind of visually.
I think I remember downloading it, like the trailer version or something, so that we could play it while we were talking about it.
Yeah, you had it running. You had it running, and I haven't heard anything of it since, so I don't know how long that one's going to be waiting for. So maybe this one will be before it. Who knows? But that's like, this is the third one now. This is like the third attempt at an MMO. So one of them has to stick the landing. And
the same developers or three like virtual reality MMOs, or just MMOs in general?
Just MMOs, like for VR. This is like the third one I think I've seen. There's Zenith, the one I can't remember the name of.
I thought you meant the developers had done.
No. Just in general for like an MMO in VR. At least maybe there's another one that I don't know about. But the three I know about are Zenith, this one, and the other one I can't remember the name of. So.
That other one's like just on PC right now or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
In like early
I don't even know.
Some shit.
It might not even be out yet. I think it was just like an early trailer that I was showing.
It's been out.
Someone in chat, help me out. Anyone know the name of that game that I'm thinking of?
Just have to cycle back to old episodes to see where the fuck it is.
Yeah.
It's probably something like, the Whispering Crevice of Ethiopia, or well, that's a real place. I didn't mean to say Ethiopia, but some fantasy land.
The magical land of Ethiopia.
Now that I think about it, Ethiopia does sound like a fantasy realm or some shit,
It is.
Anyway, Donnie says it's been out for a while now, but they're still at us. I assume he's talking about Elysium. Gamertag has done vids on it 2 times so far, and LSB says this game looks rough. Zenith is the other MMO, but there's a third one. I do remember the one he's talking about. Well, I don't remember the name, obviously.
Like, at least Zenith is like bright and colorful. This one just kind of looks very like.
It looks muted.
Like muted, like very like faded looking colors and
very mobile. I know this is like a Quest trailer, obviously, so it's not going to be crazy, but it's very mobile looking. Roy Schwartz says giant explosion in Canada today. WTF? What the fuck is that? Moses? Or yeah, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. What is this?
It's the first time I'm hearing about it too.
Look outside your window, Moses. The whole world is on fire out
Yeah,
there.
it's like it looks like that. I opened the curtain and it looks like that level in Firewall in the
Oh shit! The embers, and the trees
in the
on fire.
the embassy. All the trees are burning. Oh shit!
Damn. Anyway, just close the curtain then and come back to the come back to the podcast.
If you don't see it, it's not happening. You know.
Speaking
No, I've been
of-
I've been at work all day, so I missed any news about explosions happening. What the hell?
Speaking of big explosions going on in the world, is like a volcano in Iceland about to pop? I think.
Damn.
LSB says MMOs suck even on flat screen. I never got into them either, and I've never really given them a proper chance, though. In fairness, but Destiny I think is the closest thing, because it kind of copies the feeling of an MMO, even though it's not really one.
It was Destiny's like a first person shooter attempt at a MMO
Yeah.
kind of game, but
Like I like the idea of raids and stuff. That's cool, but
yeah.
yeah, not really anything else to say about this one. It's not really on my radar, to be honest. It would need like maybe a big enough graphical overhaul for PSVR 2 to get me excited. Although graphical overhauls are part of the roadmap on different stages, so you know, this could be
maybe.
never say never. You know. Mick says Rainbow Bridge, U.S.-Canada border blast, not terror related, says New York governor. So Rainbow Bridge, you drive on that Rainbow Bridge to go to the magical land of Ethiopia. Is that how you get there? You go across the Rainbow Bridge.
It's where you race Mario and the go-karts.
Somebody left a banana peel on the bridge, and there was an oil tanker went over it.
I don't know.
But yeah. Anyway, next topic. Why do I have this listed as awards? It shouldn't be. That's the old name. This is about nDreams, and they've been acquired by a company called Aonic. I could be saying that wrong, but I think it's Aonic. I don't know who they are. But if you're wondering who nDreams are, they're the ones behind Fract, Synapse, Ghostbusters, which just came out, and a few others you'll see on the screen there as well, Power Wash and Simulator and stuff like that. So the Dreams CEO, who's like Patrick O'Looney, I think. He's got an Irish-looking surname anyway. He says the focus of nDreams is going to remain on virtual reality, so nothing's going to change other than them having more support and more funding to make virtual reality games, which sounds nice. I think it cost 110 million. I think, don't quote me on that, but it was like around 100 million. I think 110 was the number.
To acquire them?
To acquire them, yeah. But Sony were bitches for not doing that, is what I'm going to add to that discussion, because this could have been the perfect one, the perfect studio to guess, like, oh, you know what, port this game to VR, port this one to VR, you know, it's like they've got, you can see they've got 4 studios there, and they could be working on just like original stuff too at the same time.
Just letting these companies slip through their fingers, getting bought up by other companies.
Jackpot's in the chat. He says, I'll be home in 10 minutes if you still want me to join. Absolutely, Jackpot. So just when you go to Discord, join the call. I shouldn't need to invite you or anything, so pop in whenever you want.
What if this company like now decides like, oh, and we just want to develop for Quest 3 now? Then we're just screwed because
that's possible.
Yeah,
that is possible.
Yeah.
If Sony acquired them, then Quest would be screwed, because Sony definitely would have been like PSVR 2 only bitches.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, this is. I mean, it's still good. Like it's better than fucking Meta acquiring them. You know, like I'm surprised.
Well, yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't. Seeing that they've been on like a bit of a spree in recent years. But nDreams, the same as before, but with more money, more funding.
Do you know the company? Like, is this like a rich?
I looked
must
up
be a rich
Aonic, and I got like audio manufacturer stuff. So I don't know if that's them
Weird.
or if there's a different Aonic out there. I don't know. Really, I don't know. But I've never heard of them before. But throwing down 110 million on a VR studio is is an interesting move on their part. You know, in a time where people would be like, you know, VR is too risky or too slow to grow or whatever.
Yeah, they see the potential. They're good guys.
Good.
I like this company.
Me too. Maybe they just want to fucking turn it over, sell it to Sony for 2 million or 200 million, or flip it to Mesa or whatever. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to add to that.
We'll see if other maybe it'll start a trend how other VR.
Yeah, maybe they'll quit. Maybe First Contact. Maybe they'll come after them next. You know, who knows?
Maybe
Who knows?
another one. Sony might. No, doesn't Sony or no?
They don't.
They're
own
not
them.
officially. They're just a
They're
partner,
second
right?
party, or second party, I think is what the term is. But yeah,
It's so weird because having that big PlayStation thing show up, like
Mm-hmm.
when you start the game up, you would just automatically assume it has to be a
it's a
Sony.
thing. Yeah,
Sony first party.
but it's like
Right.
The Order. I don't know if you ever played The Order on PS4.
Yeah,
Or
that was
something like
technically
where-
yeah.
And now Meta.
That was
own that
technically like
studio.
a first party. Yeah.
Yeah, but it still count. The games count as first party, but the studio does not.
Yeah.
But yeah, congratulations to nDreams, I suppose, because they sound happy about it. So you know, GG's, well done.
Yeah.
Next topic is Hellsweeper. I think yes, it is. So Hellsweeper, which as you may know was released on PSVR 2 in a state that some people would say was not ideal or not up to scratch, maybe
Yeah.
not even acceptable to some people. I don't know. All those impressions put me off it, so I haven't really even been caring about it or thinking about it too much until they fix it, quote unquote. I don't know if you would say fix, but they have been tweeting. Update it. There you go. And in their tweet, they're talking about their plans for doing exactly that. So there's going to be 2 phases, Muzz. The first phase is coming before 2024, so at the end of this year. And phase 1 is going to improve textures. All right. And then there's going to be a bigger visual improvement, is that's what they called it. And that's going to come in the first quarter of 2024. So we don't have any details on what exactly that is. But if you're someone who's been keeping an eye on it, you know, you won't have too much longer to wait, maybe, before the game is in a good enough state where you might come back to it or might think about buying it again or whatever.
So textures first, which would be this year, you said, for the
Yes,
textures?
so textures in the next month or so.
So just less muddy looking when you're looking at like a wall or something.
I
It'll
assume
actually
so,
have
yeah.
some detail.
I assume
Yeah.
so. And then overall,
Right.
I wonder would the bigger visual overhaul include like foveated rendering or something like that? I don't. Maybe this is a Unity game and they have troubles with that dynamic foveated rendering, but I don't know what that.
Well, that's
means.
nice. That's good that they're keeping up with it. Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah,
just
they
like
have
a launch and just forget about it, and who cares if people are mad.
They're working on
But
it.
yeah, a lot of people were upset. They were like,
Yeah.
"What the? This is like worse than the Quest version or something."
Yeah. So, I mean, I was a little upset about it, but it was kind of like, you know, not. Like, as long as they're working on it, I'm happy enough, you know. And that's all I have to say about this one. I mean, yeah, like I said, we have a lot of topics, but they're all kind of like this, where it's go through them pretty quick, you know.
Yeah.
Next one being Aces of Thunder. And this is a very quick one. Just for some people who are wondering, since the game was announced, really, is this game going to have that hot ass support, Muzz? And according to the reply on Instagram, which is just some random reply on Instagram, they don't say that anywhere else. They're like, yeah, it's going to have it. Don't worry about it.
I think it was sure.
Yeah,
Was the reply.
like they've replied a few times to a few different people, but just like, yes,
Yeah.
it's going to have that hot ass. And if you're wondering what that is, hands
Oh, it is.
on throttle and stick. That's what that means. I looked that up. I memorized it. So you're going to have that little stick. But it is interesting that...
He didn't. He wrote that on his hand. Don't listen to him.
Mine's all sweaty, man. It's all fucking blurred and melting away. Like every time we see a trailer for this, it's like, oh, he's flicking switches with his fingers in the cockpit and he's sliding back the... What do you call that? I suppose just the cockpit, is it? Or the window with the glass? What do you call
The
it?
window, yeah. You can
Yeah.
slide the window open
So-
and shut.
How does all that work if you're using that hot ass, or is it just something you have to not do, or is it all going to be assigned
Good
to
question.
buttons and stuff? Like,
And it would have to be assigned to buttons. It would have to be.
I've never used
Other-
the hot ass, so I don't know how many buttons are on that thing. You know, I think there's only one supported on PlayStation 5 as well. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's like if you want to use the flight stick, then you miss out on all the like hands-on interaction with the buttons. But I think it might be a good trade-off with better control because, I mean, we're all going to have to use that, like, fake stick, pretending that you're holding a stick.
I don't like that either. Do you think there'd be any chance of them, like,
I hope
use the sticks on the DualSense, like not needing the hot ass or,
Yeah.
not having to grab
I
the
hope
stick,
so.
but still be able to press the buttons and stuff?
Well, you still be able to. I mean, even if you're flying, it would be kind of weird though, because you're going to be flying and then moving your hand at the same time while you're holding the sticks, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might be a little weird.
I don't know. I don't know how shooting works in this either as well. Is it just like a gun mounted to the front?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, this is like old.
okay.
There's no missiles or anything.
There's no mounted
lining
gun
up.
that you can aim by grabbing it and like pulling it here and pulling it there,
No, I think this is just like a mounted gun on the front of the plane. Now,
okay.
there was like double-seated planes where someone was in the back that had like a turret that they could shoot, but it was always like out the back because they couldn't shoot forward or else they'll just like shoot their own plane, basically. Yeah.
I see. I could have sworn I saw a trailer where there was a gun at the front and he was like grabbing it by the side, like the two handles at the side. Is that
Maybe.
it there? Maybe it depends on the plane.
Yeah,
maybe you can't aim it left and right. Maybe it only shoots forward. I don't know.
We'll have to see if they show it again here.
Mick says guns are in the wings. So there you go. Well, it might depend on the plane. Listen,
Guns
I don't
are
know
on the
anything
wings,
about these planes. I could be looking at something completely wrong.
Oh yeah, that one has the guns on the wings right there that I just saw. So this is World War II, though, right?
Not,
yeah.
Yeah, World War II.
World War II.
That one, that's clearly aiming with the... Hold on, I gotta go back. Back a touch.
Yeah, the gun was moving.
There.
Yep.
I'm pausing it there, but that's clearly like he's holding something and aiming it manually.
Yeah.
It looks like he's shooting at the back of the plane. So is there someone... Can you like swap seats or can you have someone in the back shooting out?
That'd be cool if you could. If you had a two-seater and someone's flying and someone's shooting, that'd be pretty sweet.
In multiplayer, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
But maybe that's part of a single-player mission or something, I don't know. Have they said anything about single-player in this, or is this just multiplayer?
I haven't heard much about what the single-player would even be.
Does
I'm
War
just
Thunder even
excited.
have single-player? Or is that just all online battles?
I've only ever played just online when I played it. Like, I didn't even play much for War Thunder, so I don't really know too much outside of just...
Even the trailer here, like the text popping up is like realistic online VR battles, so they're not saying anything about like campaigns and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think there would be much of a campaign, if anything. My guess is you could just play like against AI.
A training mission
Probably.
or something.
Yeah. If you don't have people to play with. If you don't want to play online, you can just play like a mission and just all AI planes that you're shooting down.
Yeah, like, you can see that plane there. It just showed that plane there clearly had like a gunner seat in the back facing out. But maybe it's like you slide back. Maybe you're the only person in this and you can slide back and occupy that one.
Just temporarily let go of your controls and just look at the back.
Steady the plane and then swivel around.
I'm sure those planes back then were just fine doing that.
Pilots,
nothing would go wrong. I'm really excited for this game.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the text here to see if it says anything about campaigns or something, but it's not saying anything.
I don't think there will. I don't think there will be anyway. I think when you play, if you want to play solo, I think you're just still doing the team thing, but it's just all the people that you're fighting are just AI instead of players, basically.
Yeah. But yeah, 2 people in the plane teaming up. I think it says 8 player. Is it 8 player? Or did they mention this? I'm probably getting mixed up with Ultra Wings, which we'll talk about also as well. That has 8 players. I don't know how many players are in this.
Hopefully as many or more.
Yeah. Because
I don't think it says.
If you could have like 2v2v2, like have 2 people per plane or whatever like that, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I hope when you open the window, like while you're flying, it's just like super loud sounding, like the wind. Like
your head is shaking, the vibration going crazy on your headset.
It'd be disappointing if you just open it up and it's just like a little bit of like a like very underwhelming. Like, oh.
I want to see the gloves like start rippling or something with the wind effects. That's probably too much to ask, but still.
Just really good. I just want good audio. Like it make it sound like at least matching like what you hear like when you're driving your car, at least like when you open your window up with like the wind.
But these guys, like these fellas are like obsessive with the details and stuff. So you'd imagine they'd try and get everything. Like it's like a simulation for these lads.
Yeah, obsessive with the vehicles, like, doesn't mean anything about the audio, though.
Yeah, well, maybe not.
Well, audio maybe for the guns. I don't know. I'd assume it would have to have some pretty good loud wind effects when you open the window up.
Yeah.
Why would you even open up the window? Like, it's cool that you can do it, but I don't know what the point of it is. Unless you have like a little stash of grenades or something that's beside you. So if you're flying over somebody, you can open the window up and drop a grenade out your window to like blow a plane up.
Didn't they used to drop bombs like that and like over targets and stuff that manually?
They had the bombs, and then they would hit the like arm it like that and then drop it basically. They
look like big darts or something.
Yeah,
but there's one scene here in this trailer, like at the end, where he's doing like a loop de loop, and there's a bunch of planes flying in formation. He starts shooting them. That looks a bit like it's from a mission or something, you know, like just the way that they're all in a formation, flying side by side, and he's starting to shoot them.
Or they're just really good players at flying in formation.
Like this shot right here. I'm pausing it right here. Like maybe they are just like that's 6 planes. Together, flying in formation.
In like a V formation.
Yeah. So I mean, it could be just arranged that way for the trailer to show off. But yeah.
Like your squad will never be this good.
No, 100%. Maybe it's a free for all. Well, no, that doesn't make sense because they're together. 8 out of 10 excitement from Mick again.
He likes those 8s.
What is the 10 out? Do you have a 10 out of 10, Mick? That'll be Resident Evil 4 probably. That's a 10 out of 10. So yeah, hot ass confirmed. You ready to go to the next one?
I'm just curious as to whether people would prefer to use the hot ass controller or be able to interact with all the buttons using the Sense controllers. What do you think? It's a good trade-off if you can't use all the buttons to have better controls with a flight stick? I think it would. Like, I don't know if I need to have all that interaction in the cockpit. I think it might be distracting from just like shooting at people.
Do you think like every time you want to turn left or something like that, you have to press a button to like get your flap to go up or something like that? Or
I don't know. I hope it's not like these planes aren't like super complicated. I mean, they're like older tech. So, but like, yeah, how much attention do you need to have on your control panel while you're in like a battle? Yeah, it might be.
I imagine it'd be like maybe a button to switch weapons and maybe a button to bring up your fucking. Well, these planes didn't even bring up their landing gears, did they? They were always down.
Yeah, they have like they do have like the throttle pedals as well, which the flight stick would have. Maybe make it easier to turn and stuff.
And there you go. I don't know. I'd rather a hybrid. I'd like a hybrid approach where I could use the Sense controllers, but I could use the sticks on them to steer while still being able to interact with stuff.
Yeah, me too. But would it be easier though? Would you have an advantage? Like if you need to like reach forward and like flick a switch, like using your Sense controller and hit a switch there, or if you have the same switch that's like dedicated buttons on your flight stick, and you just can flick the switch down there to have the same effect instead of having to reach over and do it there.
Yeah, the flight stick would definitely have the advantage there.
Yeah, if you can just map it to your button layout.
Not to mention, like, these little toggle switches or whatever, like, small enough, so you probably whiff it once or twice, especially if you're in the heat of battle or what. Like, I don't know what they do. Maybe they're just like novelty things that don't really do much.
Maybe, but like you said, though, these guys like attention to detail. So I think everything in the cockpit on the control panel is probably like accurate. So it might take some getting used to, but it might actually increase the playability of it. You might not get as old because you have always things to do.
Yeah, skill ceilings to hit. Mick says they are selling this as a simulator flight game, and Fuzzybear says it looks fun. I think this is like a 9 for me. I'm really excited.
I think
it's just because
this is a 9 for me. Yeah. The only thing that would be better than this game is if they brought me out another Star Wars, or even this like updated Squadrons, for crying out loud.
That needs to happen as well.
But I just like flight games. I think flight games are probably one of the best. We
have action.
We just
I gotta fix
right on time.
We just got a jackpot. Yeah, just 5 minutes late jackpot, just like always.
Let me get rid of that. So most has to be adjusted now.
What is that garbage you put next to my instead of my thing?
Don't worry about it. That's your beliefs.
Fuck no.
That's how you feel. There we go. Happy Thanksgiving
All fixed.
to Jackpot.
I was expecting the whole family to be in the background.
Yeah, where's the
Jackpot.
17 people? Where's the 17 people?
All
Where are you hiding
crammed,
them?
all crammed in the camera.
How are you
the
fitting them in that house? They're in the basement. They're all chopped up into little pieces.
They're everywhere except my room.
I see. Yeah, you just
We're just
random-
talking about Ace Combat. Or not
Oh,
Ace Combat.
Not Ace. Aces of Thunder is what.
Aces
Aces of Thunder. Well,
There you go. Well, how
we
was
need that game already.
How is that for? Like, is it a 9 out of 10 for you, or a 10 out of 10 for you, Jackpot? In terms of how fucking wet you are for it.
10.
10?
He's at a 10.
I told you that I
You got
love
the
this
stick,
type
though.
of
You got the
games.
stick, don't you?
But even without the stick, if they, like Mus was saying, how much are you gonna compromise? I do like the stick, but I'm telling you, it just
Oh
depends.
no.
If we get a stick and that's it, that's fine. If we don't get a stick and it's just kind of a little bit of interaction with my hands, then that will suck. But what we saw in the trailer and a couple, there's like a lot of interaction with your hands. So I don't mind not having the hot ass support. Now if it has both, that would be cool. But dude, I'm very excited for this game. It's kind of my type of game. I like flying games, especially like old school, bombing and not a lot of technology, lock-in missiles, all that type of shit.
Yeah. I don't know if you'd be
Yeah.
bombing in this game though.
If you don't, it's still again, it's for me, it's a little bit. I'm not saying the other ones are not skill; they're all skills, but having to lock into something, it's kind of lame for me. So that's why I'm
no, I
more
get
excited for
what
this
you
type of
mean,
game.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's more satisfying to take someone down when you're like, you have to line up the shot yourself.
Right.
But I suppose there could be a mode where you're like, you have to defend the targets and the other plane has to like bomb it. So maybe bombing will be in it that way.
I hope
know what
there's bombing.
I just realized though, what if it does have the flight stick support and you can map all your buttons? Is that gonna like have an advantage over people that have to do like all the button flicks manually, and it would be like harder to do or something?
I would think so.
It depends, I guess, on how good the controls are without the hot ass.
Mm.
But even if
Because
the
might have-
tracking is perfect,
Might have the better controls and better for like hitting the buttons.
like
Same
it's
way.
always going to be quicker to hit like a physical button that you have on your controller
Yeah.
than it will be to reach out and toggle a switch or whatever.
Yeah.
Right, but what kind of stuff would you need in this besides everything that is in your stick, right?
Well, that's what
Like
I'm
the
wondering. I
button?
don't know because he's flicking things in the dash, and it's like, is this for bringing up flaps and things like that, or what
If
is
we
it?
can land and take off, it could be, or it could be, fuck yeah. What else? Maybe to turn on the engine is I don't know.
You can open the window. How would you open the window if you're using the flight stick? Like what button would you just have a button that like slides the window open when you press the button?
Unless they support both at the same time, like the
Hold the sense controller. Hold the sense
Three
controller.
No,
hands.
but it's-
How many hands you
in
got?
this game probably wouldn't work as good, but in Microsoft Flight Simulator, it's great because you do use the stick, but then when you need to open the flaps or whatever, it's better if you physically reach out with the controller and touch them. But this is more of a hectic, fast-paced game, so I don't think it will work as good as it works in Flight Simulator to have both.
Donnie says, "Welcome to Jackpot."
I'm Donnie.
He also says, "I'm sure different planes would have different control schemes, which would add to the gameplay." Well, definitely, if one of them planes has like the rear gunner seats and other ones don't, then that's a big change right there, especially if you got like two people in that plane.
Right.
LSB says, "I heard something about a new Ace Combat game for PSVR. I think that it's bullshit." Well, feel free to tell us what it is because I haven't heard anything.
I heard that too. That's
What did
why
you
I
hear?
said Ace Combat over when I said.
Oh, he was in your head.
No. Yeah. There's rumors that they're coming out with another one, but I don't know where it stemmed from, like where they heard it from, or if
Well,
it's
there's
just
definitely
bullshit.
going to be another one, but will it be a PSVR 2? Ace Combat is the question. Like it's a popular franchise, and that one, like Ace Combat 7, I think sold well, or at least reviewed well, so
Yeah, I'd love another one to come out for sure. Like,
there should be another.
Yeah, but full VR because the missions were cool, but it's not worth the $60 when it came out just for the VR.
Not for VR, no. LSB, he said he shoved them all into the closet. He's talking about Jackpot's extended family. Movemaster mixes real dog fights. And Mjolnir, how you doing, Mjolnir? He says, I felt the same excitement for Wingman, but oh my, how disappointed I was. Well, there you go. The difference between this and that, though, is that this is multiplayer. So it could still turn out to be absolutely shit. Don't get me wrong. But, well, there's another difference as well, as that's being developed by the War Thunder people, and they've got like a proven track record of a successful online game that people play.
And this is only VR. This isn't like flat screen and VR, right? This is just made for VR. So
yeah. So I think
Wingman.
This is a lot more going for it than Project Wingman had. Even though I was massively disappointed by Wingman as well, because unlike Jackbot, I do kind of prefer at least like the hood, like the slick, more modern hood of like like a Top Gun type fighter jet than World War II. Although I do prefer the like cannon fire shooting that you have in World War II planes. That's cool. But yeah.
I wonder if it's going to be so realistic as to like running out of ammo, like during battle. And if you do run out of ammo, do you have to like go down and land to like restock and then take off again? Like
that would be awesome.
That would be cool.
That would be cool if they had. I don't think they would though. I think it's going to be. Well, I don't know. That's a good point.
And in the trailer, they both call it like a simulation. So.
I mean, they are hardcore accuracy like that they like. So like, would they be that accurate as to like have as much ammo as those each plane can carry? Like maybe you have a bigger plane that can have like double the ammo.
Right,
could be.
But you're slower. I don't know.
How many planes would you need in a game like this?
I would like to see at least 6-on-6 like combat.
No, I don't mean like player count. I mean
total amount.
IACs of like types of planes.
Types of planes.
That have like
15,
different things,
10
15 planes. You'd want them to be unique, kind of, from each other.
At least a little bit.
I'd say at least 10, but yeah, 15 would be a good number.
I mean, and they're not gonna just fucking make shit out their ass. They're probably gonna do accurate, planes, and they're gonna have to select maybe some from, I don't even know what war there's gonna be, but I'm sure they're gonna do Americans,
World War II,
English, and all kinds of stuff.
World War II, like British planes, German planes,
right? Fucking Spitfires,
Japanese
planes,
yeah. No, it's a good question. I'm curious, but I do hope that they do that though. I hope that they're realistic enough, like that like you said, some planes carry more, but they're slower. But regardless, once you're out of bullets or whatever it is, you have to go back to whatever that base is close by to refill. I think that would be cool. And I think it would be cool too if somehow we can, again, I would like bombs. We can actually, there's maybe a game mode, because I'm assuming this is just going to be, okay, you're here, you start flying, and then you kill each other, and whoever wins. I think it'll be cool, kind of like in Battlefield, but flying. If you have, let's say you have a, how do you call those big ships in the ocean? We fucking call it what, like for the planes.
Aircraft carriers.
Yeah, they're like the big carriers or something like that. And then you have one side have to destroy the other carrier, and the other guy has to destroy. And you have different planes that bomb, planes that shoot, planes that are fast and maneuver. And there's just a fight in the air and try to bomb. And I think that will be cool. Obviously, if it's just a regular fight, that would be awesome. But I think if they add that, and I think it wouldn't be as hard to add. Again, I don't fucking know. I think that would be pretty cool if we had something.
I think they would have to have some kind of objectives, or else it would just get stale if it's just like nonstop. Just
if this is just a multiplayer online thing, then it has to be modes.
You have to,
not just
got to have something going on.
Because it's definitely going to be like a dogfighting, like team deathmatch, probably, you'd imagine. And
right.
Then be
not to go back to Squadrons again, but even like when you played Squadrons, you had objectives to like blow up the other guy's capital ship and that kind of thing.
Yeah. That was like multi-stage to that, wasn't it, or something? I can't remember exactly.
Yeah. You had to get to like the big Star Destroyer at the end before you could win. Yeah.
I could see there being a mode like Jackbot described, where you got to like protect a freighter or whatever, but there could be like a big bomber that nobody's controlling. It's like computer controlled, and it's up to you to defend that bomber while it drops the fucking bomb on the carrier or something like that.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. But it'll be cool if we can bomb it as well. It has like a bar, right, of like health or whatever. And then you have special plane, like maybe those planes somebody can carry, maybe every whatever tickets or whatever you call it respawns, you can bring a big ass plane, kind of like in Battlefield. One guy flies it, and then you got one bomber and another guy with the little machine gun, right? And just different planes. I think that would be pretty cool. I don't know.
I
what
hope we're
we'll
not
get.
expecting. I hope we're not expecting too much.
I
and
just
it
gonna.
comes out.
No,
I'm getting more
that-
excited the more we talk
That
about it.
would that would be cool. I
It's
think.
just gonna end up just being a straight 6-on-6, and
Yeah.
I think
with
that's what's
four
gonna be.
different
dude.
planes, and
2v2, 2v2.
I
yeah,
think that's what's gonna be though, like
Yeah.
just 6v6 or 5v5 and just dogfights and.
No, that has to be more than that. There has to be more than that.
Well, we'll see. Just keep your expectations. We know this. Just keep them low, even though
Okay,
we know
alright.
it's not.
But
you
that's
think
not
they're
your-
you think
crying
it'll
in
be
the
more than
shower.
6-on-6?
Oh, I don't know about player base. I don't know player count. I should say. Sorry.
Oh, player
I
count.
think
but that would be
6v6
cool.
is like
That's realistic. I think.
realistic.
If it's
Yeah, that's
6-on-6,
realistic.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's realistic to think that there's only going to be a 6v6 mode. I would like no. That's just like team deathmatch, basically, or deathmatch.
Yeah.
I think there'll have to be something else there.
Let's hope. We don't have a release date, right?
No, there was. I think there was a trailer like that came out ages ago where it was part of a sizzle reel where it says expected 2023.
Yeah,
I think
expected.
that
From
could have been
next year.
Project Wingman. We get mixed up with that. But there was definitely people who believed it was this year on Reddit. But that's not going to happen. It's not coming this year. I think the last tweet they put out was like, "Oh, we're still adding planes to the game." So I'll be surprised if they're still adding them, and
Yeah.
they can still release in the next month.
Who knows? Maybe December, but yeah, no. Probably February. It's the February game.
Everything's February. Everything's February. Let me check in the comments. RAF Spitfires and Hurricanes all the way, says Mick. Oh man, you know, it'd be cool if we did run out of ammo and then you're left with no choice but just like fucking ram into an enemy and just like explode that way. That'd be cool. You just
That's
imagine
when
someone coming
that's when you slide your window open and you just try to punch the other plane or grab one.
jump out. Man, an eject function. That would be cool too.
They didn't have
Could
eject
you eject in
functions.
these things? I was
No.
yeah, just asking. No.
I don't think they.
I don't
have-
think they had it.
Couldn't jump out with a parachute or anything. No.
I think they had
I mean-
parachutes, but they didn't have like eject.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's fine.
fine.
Listen, just like let me open up the thing, and then my plane is taking too much damage. Let me bail out, and then parachute me to the ground. And then when I hit the ground, fade me to black or something, you know, and then spawn me in a new plane. Just because we got no parachute in VR. We have nothing like that. Anyway, that's probably too boring. Donnie says M3 with the old school fighter plane knowledge. Oh, Move Master Mick. I was like, what's an M3? 4-player, 1-plane co-op mode would be cool. 4 players inside 1 plane. Chopped is here. How you doing, Mr. Chopped? He says shits like War Thunder in VR would be so good.
There is. Wait, War Thunder.
This is the guys that made War Thunder.
Isn't it War Thunder in VR?
No, I
And-
think they
and-
said
and
for a long
PC.
time it would come. Like I think they
Oh,
promised it
PC.
ages ago, and that's why it's well, maybe on PC. But that
Or
might be
what's
in
the
mod.
game that it's the fly? There's a game that is just like this. It looks like this, but it's in the PC and it has a VR, official VR.
Maybe it is War Thunder then. I don't know.
Okay.
In the trailer, it says real life flight sim. Well, there you go. That would indicate, you know, limited ammo
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, War Thunder. It is already available in VR, but on the PC, obviously.
Damn, I must look up what that looks like.
I hope it does have limited ammo, because then it's not just like a spray and pray kind of like just hold your fire down until you hit the enemy kind of thing. Got to line it
I'm
up.
sure it's gonna have a heat up. Your gun is gonna heat up if you just keep firing. You know, you have to, like
Yeah.
a cool off
Cool down.
time or something.
All right. Looking forward to this one. Probably not coming until next year, but nice to have.
And it won't be and it won't be as good as what we have in our heads now.
No,
It'll still be fun. Any flight game's fun for me.
keep
It's-
expectations low.
I think flight games are one of my favorite genres in VR. It just works so well.
Mm-hmm.
Like even
I'm
better than
surprised-
driving. Even better than driving, because you have more like freedom,
Yeah,
like of like just flying around and spinning and whatever you want to do.
there
It
is.
sucks that they didn't. what?
Sorry, go on.
I just gonna say it sucks that they didn't keep supporting that Star Wars Squadrons that we had PSVR 1, because I think that could have been, you know, fun
Yeah.
and stick a little bit longer. But I think they just like, nah, this is it. We just kind of did it. We're not gonna do anything else. No updates, no nothing. This is what you guys get.
That's great because
I
that game
almost
was
wish-
flat as well. It was a hybrid, like so. I never.
Yeah, it
But
was.
still, it worked. It worked fine on VR.
It was good, and I like playing it, but I almost wish that they would have waited until PlayStation VR 2 to have that release. Like if
Yeah.
we would have got Squadrons released on PSVR 2 instead of PlayStation VR, I think it would have
Yeah.
been a lot better, a lot more polished, better looking visuals, and a lot more people would have been playing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just surprised that it didn't. Like, I'm not saying it's a flop or anything. I don't really know anything about it, but nobody really talks about that game.
No,
No, it
everyone
didn't
kind
do
of
that
forgot.
Yeah.
Actually, back when I was still playing the first VR, I did jump into a match just randomly because I was just thinking about the game. I was like, yeah, I feel like playing this. So I went and tried to find a lobby, and I just was sitting there for like 15 minutes. No one was playing.
That's with playing with other flat people, not just VR people. Like, it matches you against flat people as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I couldn't find a game. I was just sitting there.
That's why that makes it more shocking, like, you know. And does it have crossplay as well? I think that's crossplay too, isn't it? Or like
think
Xbox
so.
and PC. So, and it's a Star Wars game, and it was received like it reviewed well. So
Yeah,
It's just there was no support.
a lot of people
why
like
did
it.
this game fail? I don't understand.
I don't know.
was
It's
no
like
support.
something else happened where everybody just like forgot about it.
Yeah, it was weird.
Never went back.
Next topic says Donnie. Move Master Make has a question from Muzz. He says, "Did you play RC Airplane Challenge?"
No. I've heard it's good, but
The Chop says,
'Cause
"Yeah,
you-
Squadrons would have looked so good on PS4 too." Sorry, Muzz.
are you controlling the plane just like you're flying it like your regular like RC plane, or are you actually in the plane? I don't
You're
really
in the
know.
plane, I
what-
think.
Yeah, I thought so.
All right.
Yeah, you're in the plane, but they're like little RC planes. But
Before
graphics look crappy, but it could be fun. I mean, you know, I like flying games, so.
Before I move on to the next topic, I just want to like ask Jackpot something. He sent a message the last day. He's like, "I'm going to get a shotgun," and there was no explanation behind it. It was just like
Yeah, that was random. That was a very random.
Just come out of nowhere. So what's going on there, Jackpot? You getting a shotgun? You got one? What are you
Eventually,
planning to do
yeah.
with that
Well, I went to the. What do you mean? What am I doing?
Yeah, what are you doing with that
Shooting and just having for the house.
thing? Armadillos?
for-
What are you shooting?
No, nothing. Well, depends the shotgun I want to buy.
No more questions. Don't ask me questions.
The shotgun that I'll probably eventually buy is gonna be one to shoot for fun, like go practice shooting, but mainly to have at the house for like self defense, right? If somebody comes and tries to get in the house or whatever.
Damn.
Yeah, shotgun
But I
for
do wanna-
self-defense?
Yeah, what do you
What
mean,
if you miss your fucking first 2 shots?
dude? It's a shotgun. You know what a shotgun does?
Only if you hit them.
It's kind of hard to miss, especially in the.
Shotgun
At
is
close
probably the
quarters,
best.
it's easy to miss at close quarters. If they're in the room, all they have to do is dodge a little
I'm in
bit.
my house, you dummy.
Yeah,
What do you
that's
think?
close
I
quarters.
should?
That's close quarters. You need a handgun, is what I'm saying. Handgun is close quarters.
No,
okay.
dude. A handgun, I can hit a guy 4 or 5 times, 3 times, unless I don't hit him. If I don't hit him in the chest, it's hard, especially running at you. A shotgun, dude, especially the types of bullets that you buy, because you're not gonna fucking shoot like a hunting birds, right? Like all the little pellets. You can buy
sprays.
you can literally buy a slug, which is one single thing. So there's different things you can do, different things for home defense or whatever. But I don't really need it. It's pretty safe in here, but it's always better to have one because you never know. Somebody gets in your house, you're fucked.
All right. Listen, all I'm
So
saying is that a shotgun is
so
always
it's
gonna carry a
not.
long
It's
gun.
100% not drug related, right?
Nah, fuck. What does drugs have to do with guns? I live in America, in Texas. Everybody has a gun on their hip.
I'm just joking.
All right.
But
Where's
yeah.
your cowboy hat? Do you have a cowboy hat? I bet you do.
I don't.
You do, don't
don't.
you? You have to have one.
I
You have the
don't.
cowboy
You
boots
can't.
with the spurs.
You can't live in Texas without having at least one.
A cowboy boot and pointy boots.
Pointy boots? I thought they were called Spanish boots.
Are they?
I could be wrong.
Mexican.
Mexican boots? Mexican hats?
Mexican hats, Mexican boots.
Around the Mexican hats.
Is that how they teach you over there?
That's what they teach me on The Simpsons, all right?
That's
Shop
Simpsons,
says we're going to have to fight our tyrannical government. Arm up, Jack Boss. This is getting into dangerous territory. I don't condone these messages of whatever that is.
Yeah, just to go. It's fun to go shoot sometimes. You hit fucking put targets over there, you shoot them. But it's mainly to have at the house. And eventually, once my dad moves in here, we do like going hunting and stuff. So
Damn, your dad's moving
we'll get
in?
not in the house to the same area, city
okay.
that I live in, and there's some hunting areas around here, different shit, elks, deer, birds, all kinds of stuff. So
Poor animals.
he already has like 10 guns already, 15 guns.
Donnie says, at Jackpot, I invite them in, and let's just say the story for them does and does not end for them.
Is this a poem?
Is that a
Is
threat?
that
What
he
is
wrote
that?
a poem.
It's a haiku.
He wrote a poem.
It's a haiku. I think. I don't know what that is. Danny, let me just tell you: once you invite somebody into your house and then you shoot them, then you are a murderer, Danny. All right? Once you do the invite, okay? They're not trespassers anymore.
I think he's getting the laws a bit messed up.
You're just Jigsaw from Saw. Then at that stage,
If you're in my house, anything goes. Anything goes. You're in my
happens in
house.
Donnie's house. Stays in Donnie's house.
Ties him up and like does all kinds of shit.
Puts the gimp, lets the gimp loose on him. The Wild West lives as Mick, and Decepticon has arrived. He says he's got them ski boots. You got them ski boots? You going skiing in Texas? Down them sand dunes in the deserts? You have deserts in Texas? You have to.
I live in a desert.
There you go. What do you
It's
do
hot
for
as
water?
shit. What's cold
What do
right
you do
now?
for water?
What do you mean? There's fucking.
Dams.
We don't live in the fucking middle of nowhere. There's fucking cities. There's governments. They figure it out. There's big ass fucking things.
Big things, huh?
Yeah,
And
big
you
things
have
to store the water.
Important says
And
it's
then
a haiku with high as in like high on drugs. I like that. Laws, what are those? Says Donnie. Donnie has done time, so maybe he is a murderer. I don't know. Fozzie Bear
Could be.
says pistols blow holes in people, rifles blow holes through people, shotguns blow holes off people. There you go. Huge pointy boots.
Yeah, the pointy boots.
You gotta have a pair of cowboy boots somewhere.
I don't.
What Texas
No.
stuff do you have, other than the gun you're gonna have? Is that it? Just the gun?
You don't have all the typical novelties, the big hat and the cowboy boots. Do you at least have a big
Unfortunately, not.
buckle? Do you at least have a big belt buckle?
I have a big ass belt buckle that
There you
somebody
go.
gave me.
You got one of
And
them.
it's
There you
stored
go.
in there, but it's in there. It's like a big ass horse or something, like a dude riding a horse or some shit. Some
All right.
some stereotypical.
I want a man riding a horse right next to my penis, please. Let me get that on.
Then you're allowed to stay. Then you're allowed to stay in Texas if you at least have
That's
one of them.
At least one thing you
Yeah.
have to have in here.
Okay.
Their yearly inspection, they'll come by and look for it.
It's crazy that because a lot of people come here and they get freaked out because people here have guns and shit. Yeah, my dogs are barking, so you guys are fucked. But it's weird
Sounds like
because they
you're
come
fucked.
here and it's normal. Nah.
Importance is
Amanda.
broke back jackpot. LSP says this cowboy wears women's shoes. There you go. He's got little
Damn.
high heel emojis
There,
around there.
LSP.
Decepticon says it's a thing to see who has the pointiest pointy boots. Is that true? The biggest pointiest boots. Is it a competition?
Yeah, that's why you go skiing, because I don't know if you've seen them, the Mexican pointy boots, and you get them all the way up here, and then you just fucking use them as
You
skis.
just
You know, you
grab
walk
onto
like.
them.
I tried. I'm gonna disappoint you guys. Well, I don't want to talk about it.
What?
Nothing. I was gonna say something about dreams, but I try to make pointy boots on dreams, and it's hard.
Okay. All right. So we're not getting the pointy dreams and boots, everyone.
No.
I can't speak. Not
Too
getting the
bad.
pointy boots in dreams is what I wanted to say. Anyway, we move on to the next topic before we keep talking about Texas.
Do it.
Sure.
Arizona Sunshine 2. Remember last week we were talking about how there's going to be a showcase and they're going to show gameplay, and we were hoping that we'd see PSVR 2 gameplay and all that stuff. Well, since then, they had the showcase, they revealed some details about multiplayer, and they let all these content creators publish all their content that they have of their own gameplay, and some of them are, well, one of them was PSVR 2, at least, which was Reese the King. I don't know if you know him. But he's the only one that I could find that had actual PSVR 2 footage to show, and his footage proved that it is very similar to the PC viewer version, which is good. It looks really solid, and then the details we got are looks on par with PC viewer. Plus, it has all the haptic stuff. So Reese the King said he's going to play it on PSVR 2 because of the the haptics and stuff. The co-op detailed 2-player campaign with both players sharing the dog. So you share the dog with the 2-player campaign. And 4-player horde mode returns, but they didn't detail it. So we don't really know what that's like. It's going to be fully crossplay, so you can play with Questicles. And they had an AMA on Reddit. Reprojected to 120. So some people were upset about that. But But the trade, like, there's a lot of people who seem to think these games, like Firewall gets it a lot as well. It's like, why isn't this running native 90 frames per second? But they don't realize is like there'd be trade-offs to do that. You know, maybe the shadows and lighting effects could disappear to make that happen. You know, or it would look more like a Quest game. No offense. But me personally, I prefer the visual fidelity. Like the reprojection does not bother me.
Right.
Personally, you know. It's a small little issue, but I can get over it, you know.
Yeah.
Like I can like see it at first, and then I just kind of forget about it the longer I play. But I can see how some people like can't stop noticing it because it does give you that double vision if you're like very.
Like it's in Gran Turismo 7 as well. Like, sorry.
Yeah.
But like when you're looking at a car coming up to your left, and it's like, oh, there's two cars coming up to my left. Oh no, it's just the one. But. Yeah, it's not a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
Chop says, Muzz, what's up with Toronto legalizing all drugs? Looks like a mess up there.
What?
All drugs are legal in
All
Toronto?
Drugs?
I don't think so. Like I know like marijuana is illegal, but all drugs, I don't think so, dude.
That explains the explosions, Muzz. All the crack addicts are
the drug wars are beginning.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? I saw it in the morning. I was like, wait, what the fuck?
So you heard about the explosion as well?
Yeah, I heard about the explosion on the news in the morning. I was like, wait, Canada?
This is the first time I've heard about it. Someone saying it in the chat. I don't even know what caused it.
Somebody blew up a car in the border, but apparently they said that they blew up so much that it was like explosives or something. It wasn't like the car just blew up. I don't know. Some weird.
I think it was Maker. Someone in the chat said that it was like no terrorist activity suspected.
Shit.
Maybe someone was just traveling with like a whole lot of fireworks in their car. It just blew up.
Maybe.
Thought you would like that, brother, says Donnie. It's a good point. Important says reprojection totally breaks the VR replay in Gran Turismo 7. All right, that's a good point because you do stand at the side of the road, so you only see them going from left to right, and that's when you know it's the worst.
Yeah, you definitely notice it bad there.
That's a fair enough point. However, I'm still taking higher quality fidelity stuff rather than native 90 frames per second. You know, what impresses me most in Gran Turismo 7 is like when someone comes up behind me and then the lights illuminates my whole fucking interior of the car and stuff like that. And that shit would probably have to be dropped to run as 90 native. Decepticon says Muzz has those mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
I got some mushrooms in my fridge. I use them for cooking.
Yeah, closed cup
they're good
mushrooms.
mushrooms. They're good mushrooms.
There you go. Josh says nope, all drugs. Look it up. LSB says heroin fans rejoice. Chop says I see it on TV today. It's fucking crazy. Donnie says crackheads have money to build bombs, but not their crack. Fake news. I don't think it's expensive to make bombs, is it? Depends on
I wouldn't know.
Norton says Sony could upgrade the reprojection to asynchronous space warp and it will be way better. I think, shit. One, by the way, Jackpot, I don't know if you've done that deliberately, but you've gone black. Your camera's gone. Is he gone? Is he there? Maybe he's muted.
He's gone.
Himself. I don't know. He's still there, I think, but he's probably
one of his family members wandered over.
I got a bunch of people in here, and I was hiding them. Like 15 people just running behind us.
They all started coming under the door. They all started coming under the little door in the back.
The tiny door. That's what keeps them.
Can we come out now? Can we come out now?
There's no air, please.
Like a little clown car. There's like 15 coming out of a little.
You stay in there. You stay in there. I'm doing my important YouTube channel thing.
Oh, I see a dog. Could be a person crawling with a tail. Do you have any relatives with a tail?
Some rat.
Yeah, rat.
From Jersey. I have some relatives from Jersey.
Jorge the rat is there again. Good shit. But anyway, important. His thing about upgrading the reprojection. Apparently, I can't remember the developer who said this, but they claimed that Sony were working on some kind of improvement to reprojection. But who knows if they've given up now? I don't know what the story is with Sony and VR. Do they care?
They're bitches.
I don't know.
Nope.
Sutcon says because BC did small amounts months ago. British Columbia, is that what he means?
I don't know. Nobody ever fucking understands anything he says.
He's on that crack as well.
And he's old.
He is old. You're right. He's like hitting 50, I think. But yeah, Arizona Sunshine looks like, obviously, always keep your guard up when it comes to pre-ordering, but it seems like this one's going to be a solid one. A nice bang to end the year, 2023.
But listen, what's the incentive of the pre-order versus? I mean, I get it. There's might be, but I'm saying why we all get burned, right? Even though I think this is gonna be good, why are we pre-ordering if we can wait maybe a couple hours until we get reviews or something like that? You know, I think it's just too risky for that much money. I personally am not gonna pre-order anything unless there's something like, man, they have pre-order bonus, they got all this stuff, but I don't think so.
If it has like a mice, I can't remember. If it has like one of them 10% discounts if you pre-order, you know, if you're a PS Plus member and you pre-order it, you might get 10% off. That might tempt me, but
if they give reviews out before, then of course, and I hear because some games don't do review codes before, and we don't know until the day of, and that's too risky for me. I just don't have the money to be blowing, especially with no refunds. Fuck.
Yeah, don't pre-order. Don't pre-order, especially if there's no demo codes for reviews early.
Early reviews. Yeah.
That's so.
It looks solid. I think it's gonna be good, but.
Chop says sorry, it was Vancouver.
Yeah, I was just about to say it's in BC, but I'm looking at it right now. This is I totally missed what's going on over in BC, man. What the hell?
Your eyes. Your country's falling apart.
There's explosions going on at the border, and drugs are being legalized. Yeah.
Important says I would pre-order a game if it came with an aim controller, but that's it. Man,
it's a small amount. You can only have possession of a very small amount of one of the drugs. It's not like you can like stash cases of it, I guess. But that's interesting though. Damn.
Move Master Mix says the deluxe edition has a 10% discount for Plus members, but I never go for a deluxe edition, especially not digital deluxe. Well, I did it for Firewall obviously because I'd use those contractors and stuff. But what they're offering you for this, I think it's just like skins for the dog or weapon skins and stuff. That doesn't appeal to me too much. So, yeah. Anyway, sorry, Moz, I interrupted you.
No, it's all good. I'm just more commenting on this.
You're just having a panic attack. Gunshots.
What else is happening in Canada?
I don't know. I'm scrolling through the news right now to see if I missed anything else.
The second coming of Jesus Christ in Toronto.
No, that would be in PEI.
PEI, I don't know what that is.
Prince Edward Island. It's just province in Canada.
Okay.
You wouldn't know what it's.
Hey, we don't know what that is.
I know. Listen, I know BC, and I don't know what the other provinces are. But is like Vancouver a province or is that a city?
British Columbia is the province.
Okay.
Vancouver.
What about Toronto?
Toronto's a city.
Okay, well, I don't know what the other provinces are then. It's 2.5 grand possession. Damn, Decepticon knows it off by heart. He's planning a trip. He's planning a little holiday for himself up to Canada.
It's Canada's plan to steal all of the state's drug addicts. Come up here. Come live in Canada. We have your drugs. Damn. You can get heroin.
All the toilet roll is going to be gone when you go to the shop tomorrow. Everyone's going to be panic buying that toilet roll again.
Gotta be.
But yeah, anything else to say about Arizona Sunshine?
Pre-order.
I'm very happy that it's going to have 4 players for that Horde mode, which is really cool.
Yes. Did you play the original Horde mode?
I did, but it was only a 2-player Horde mode. But now it's going to
was it?
4.
I thought it was 4. But it was pretty basic.
Maybe it was 4 on PC and only 2 on PSVR.
Maybe. But it was pretty basic. I mean, it was fun to have it, but I hope they, like we talked about last time, I hope they implement more things than just the same zombies coming in at you,
I was just going to ask you,
make it a little more.
What was it like? Because I never played it, the Horde mode. Was it just like infinite zombies and you just survive as long as you can, or was there like an end?
Yeah. There was like waves, it's like you get through the wave and then it restarts, and then it just keeps getting harder and harder in difficulty the longer you stick around.
Okay. So
but all the guns are kind of just like all around the tables and stuff, so you have to like plan where you're gonna get your weapons and stuff as you run out of ammo.
Okay. So yeah, hopefully it's good, and it's good that it's gonna have crossplay. So we could add 4-player horde mode to the vote, you know.
As long as it has like enough to it. If it's like super bare bones and all you do is just like stand like in like a tiny little area and just like shoot nonstop, then it would get kind of.
I think
fast.
that's what's gonna be. I think this game is gonna be fun and stuff for what it is, but I don't think it's gonna be one that will use a rotation in the horde mode. I think this is gonna be, play it at one time, a couple times, and then put it on the, the closet.
It's really polished. Like I was watching the footage of Reese the Gamer or whatever, and like when he was shooting zombies, like the specific parts where he was shooting the leg, like the flesh was ripping off that spot.
Yeah,
it kind of reminded me.
Yeah,
of
it looks good. I just don't think we'll be playing this many times. I don't think the horde mode is gonna have enough for us to be like, oh yeah, let's pick that one. Let's keep. Yeah, I hope so, of course, but I don't see them.
If they can make it, like, what's the most like Call of Duty Zombies is like the most successful version of that, isn't it? Where it's like 4-player co-op, you get waves of zombies where you have to do things in between.
Dude, if I would have been them, not them, but like if I want to do some multiplayer stuff like that, why don't you just literally, like you said, you rip off the zombie stuff?
Yeah.
The Call of Duty Zombies. I mean, it's I think it's very simple in the sense that you just get the different things and you buy the guns with the different. And if they want to make it more simple, that's fine. But I just hope we don't get straight up like last time. You just get hordes of things. Get harder.
That's what would make it more interesting is if it was a horde mode, but your place that you're defending is like inside like a house where you can like go all through the house to defend like the different windows and stuff. But the first Arizona Sunshine, the horde mode just had you in like the area was like
outside, right, or something like that.
Yeah, but it was like this, like the area that you could move around in is like the size of my like room here. Like it wasn't like too big of an area, so you could only like walk around so far, and then you hit a border, and then all the zombies were just coming at you from all the different sides. But if you had a place to defend, and then you could also like put in like barricades and all like the stuff that you could use to defend, to like make traps and stuff, and that would be cool.
Like some kind of small objectives, like I'm pretty sure. Like maybe is it Call of Duty Zombies have like the Easter eggs where you have to do like 16 different steps.
I think you gotta do different
stages
stages.
Or some shit.
Yeah, I think you go different stages. Like after you kill a bunch of them and you open another door, and then you go to a different part of the map or something like that.
Activate the teleportation machine or some shit like that.
Right.
Like the amount that they show about the multiplayer is like literally like 3 seconds long. It just shows like a quick little shot of like the four. You can see 4 players, which is nice, but it doesn't like tell you too much beyond that.
That's a little bit concerning. So definitely don't pre-order if you only want this game for the multiplayer stuff. Then definitely don't pre-order. But
it was the least talked about topic during the whole thing. Like they didn't even like go anywhere into the details about like the horde mode. They just said, and you'll be glad to know that the fan favorite horde mode is coming back. And then that was it. That was all they said. Yeah.
Like if they said new and improved or something like that.
Literally nothing said about it.
A Dead Ringer, the Gamecast, how you doing? Says Arizona Sunshine 2 and Vertigo 2 in the same week. We'll talk about Vertigo in a sec. Absolutely the best VR headsets of our time. Definitely better than the Quests. Anyway, we'd agree with that. 100%. Dead Ringer also says, I would rather play the story mode multiple times versus horde mode. Movemaster Mix's Firewall Ultra on sale. Oh shit, yeah, I forgot. I could have made a topic out of that. The Black Friday sale is on, and a bunch of VR games are discounted. Firewall Ultra is like 25% off.
Not
but
bad.
a lot of them are down. Chop says they should do a survival zombie joint where you need to build shelter and defend that shit, like Stays of Decay or something. You want Metal Gear Solid Survive. That's what you want. Dead Ringer says, but you can play the full game multiplayer. You can play the campaign 2-player co-op, I think. But yeah, that's limited. Like 2 is limited. Yeah, it's still good. Obviously nice to have it, but 4-player would be cool. Right, next topic. If you're ready.
What is the next topic?
Is PlayStation UK. I don't know if you follow their Twitter account, but
no. What would I follow UK's?
Because they're the best out of a lot of them. They do.
You guys get everything on the other side of the pond late. So why
First
would
of
I?
all, I'm not in the UK, So don't.
I know,
don't
but you're
knock
on the
me
other
either. I
side.
don't care.
You're over there.
Whatever,
You're
do
the
what you do.
Europeans.
All right.
You're the Europeans.
Anyway, remember the 19 inches of Venom? Do you remember that? That was going around. That was these guys. That was them. And now what they're doing is they're saying, does busting feel good? Make you feel good? And they're advertising Ghostbusters VR. They're advertising PSVR too. And this UK account says, does busting make you feel good? You know?
Okay, I have to follow them now because they are
super clever. Super
There you
clever.
go. They're making, shit, Superfly's at it again.
all right. GG. Usually,
I have
Damn.
to take a break now. I have to take a break now because
Oh,
we got some new
jeez.
members. Holy shit.
Gonna hear
Zeke-
Baby Cow for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah. Damn. I'm hearing it. Where's that coming from?
I
What?
don't know.
what are you talking
I'm
about?
hearing that in real life. Outside of my
Baby cow?
speakers, my headset. Yeah, I'm hearing baby cow. It's playing on the TV.
Not me.
Oh, it is playing
Everything's
on
muted.
The TV. I thought it was muted, but it wasn't.
Damn, you
I
got
was so confused.
who is that? Pepper?
What?
Chinese pepper?
Chinese pepper.
I'm looking at the people that are subscribing.
Listen, Superfly, thank you again. Very, very much. 10 memberships gift to those by Superfly.
These are different people. They're not the
these are
same.
new ones. Ezekiel.
Yeah.
I see.
New one's going out.
101. Turbo Turner. Chinese letters and pepper. Obi-Wan
Chinese
Kenozi. Nert Boglin.
Nert.
Brian Sewell. Horatio Ward, he got one before. Kiwi D. Monkey.
So these are people that are watching right now.
I
As
don't
whoever is
know. I don't know
watching,
how
they
this
just
works.
randomly get, or how does this work?
Because
Superfly.
there's not that many people watching, is there? So I don't know. I don't know how this works.
There's
Amanda got
15
one
people.
yesterday. Amanda got one
There's-
yesterday.
how many? 17. 17
You got
people
more
are
than
watching.
members?
That's what it says on my screen.
Maybe.
Apparently,
Maybe they're watching. I don't know because I really don't understand how it works. And it's the same people
19.
again. So if it's the same people watching, then maybe that explains how they're getting
Yeah.
it. But I don't know. Decepticon says member of the month. That Amanda Clark. You go. Congratulations, Amanda. MOM is what they say. And Superfly once again. Thank you very. Oh shit, Amanda's in the chat as well. And then Chopped fucking dropping a $10 dues. Holy shit.
damn.
On his way out.
I'm
on his
rich.
way out, he dropped.
I'm just gonna wait for all these to stop. I think they're double playing as well.
Yeah, I seen Obi-Wan
Yeah,
like
I
3
don't
times.
know why it does that, but it does that.
You weren't equipped for this kind of thing to happen on a
I'm
regular
supposed to get
basis.
once a month. I'm supposed to get one of these alerts going up. All right, and then we gotta wait for Chop. Once Chop's comment comes up and it's red out, I think we're there. How is Amanda? How is Amanda? Amanda, tell your extended family-in-law to come on into Jackpot and he misses them. Come on into his room.
Don't be
He
don't be
wants
ashamed.
them. He
Bring
wants
them all in.
Oh my god.
We won't fit.
Oh my
What the
god.
hell?
Look what he's
He
done.
did it again.
Look what he's done.
Oh my god, he did it again.
He did it again. Damn.
Oh my.
Same names? Yeah, same. I don't know.
I've seen a lot of
Not
new
all the
names.
same.
I've seen a lot
Yeah,
of
new
names.
ones. Where are you
Chop,
finding
thank you
these
very
people?
much.
Where are you
Superfly,
finding
thank
these
you very
people,
much.
Superfly?
Kayo, Harge, Freps Nominal, CS, Faz. Oh my god.
Reps?
Yeah, I've had Freps before. Wait, was he? Did he enter into the firewall competition? I think he did. 10 more.
Did he?
10 more. Skeletor
Damn.
says Decepticon. I don't know what that's a reference. Maybe there's a Skeletor member here. I don't know.
TV.
Pointing up. I'm just trying to catch up here. Dead Ringer says gifts should always go to those watching at the time. If not, YouTube is broke. Are you saying it should? As in you think it should? Or it should as in that's how it's supposed to work?
How it's supposed to work. I'm assuming everybody. I mean, there's 20 people here somehow. There's 20 people here.
What do you mean somehow?
Somehow.
There's less people
you know?
in your house. There's less people in your house right now. Or more people in your house, I should say.
No, I think there's 17 in my house, so we have equal viewers.
They're all watching you right now.
It's all my family.
I like how
told them to
Muzz's
get on
face is
YouTube.
constantly blocked as well by baby cow. Superfly says all baby cow ass. Thank you, Superfly, for the generosity. It is ridiculous. And Chopped as well. I'm just going to read Chop's comment out as well because we didn't get to hear it. He says, gotta bounce. GGGC, y'all. Hope you all in the US have a good Thanksgiving. Have a good night, y'all. Is it Thanksgiving Day now?
Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Tomorrow's Thursday? Yeah, tomorrow.
See you in 10 minutes, Chopped.
Yeah, he'll be back. Like a crack addict. Muzz has baby cow boozy in his face, covering his face, says Donnie. There's worse things to have. Worse things to have.
I'm gonna take a look at some of these discounts going on the PlayStation Store while we're
you
waiting for
do
them.
that. You do that. What even topic were we on? Oh yeah, PlayStation UK.
They're
Ringer
busting
says,
nuts.
I think it should be. Oh, I think it should be for those watching live. Why give a membership to someone who hasn't even watched in a year? I know. I agree with you. Although if there's more gift subs than there is people watching, so it would have to go to some random people as well. But yeah, I do agree. It should be done that way. Every time I think it's going to stop, and then it does another one.
Jesus.
I think we're close now. Skeletor, no. I think Fraps Nominal is the last one. So what's this one? Skeletor. 3 more after Skeletor. And we can get back on topic. Robert Westfall is here. How you doing, Robert? He says, greets, gents. Look, Muzz, another Canuck here. Damn.
Hey.
Muzz peeking up over the fucking baby.
Hey,
He's somewhere in there.
Robert, were you exploding things on the bridges today in Canada?
yeah, what's up, Robert? You blowing
It's a bit
stuff up?
suspicious. It's a bit suspicious that you show up after them explosions.
Do you live in BC? Do you live in BC, Robert?
All right, we're done. We're clear. Chopped and Superfly as well. Thank you very much for the ridiculous generosity. It's crazy. That's enough now. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. So yeah, what was I saying about this? I think the whole point, like, this is just another quick thing I wanted to bring up, that this PlayStation account in the UK are worth following. They're good, and they're getting people talking about PSVR 2. You know,
How do they get away with this? Sony's are be little bitches. How are they letting them
actually
do
say
it?
anything wrong there? You know,
I know, but you know
That's
how
how
they
they get
are.
away.
I'm
That's how they get
surprised.
away
I
with
mean, I like this, and sometimes I'm following
whoever's
them now,
doing this
but
must
I'm
have a
surprised.
fucking. They must be getting promoted. They'd want to be getting a pay increase. You know, especially the 19 inches of Venom. That one went viral. You know.
Did the sales for Ghostbusters increase after this?
Probably. Probably. We don't have the figures yet, but I'm sure it will.
No, I think it's just the clicks, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd say a lot of people are like, "Oh, I didn't know that existed," and thanks to this funny joke, you know, and they know about it. So it's like, damn, I might buy one of these things.
It's like, oh wait, no, oh wait, I heard it's trash. Oh, never mind.
I like Ghostbusters, and I also like busting. That sounds like a
There you
win.
go. There you go. I like to come. Anyway, next topic is Ultra Wings 2, which is the other playing game I was telling you about, because we're drowning in flight simulators all of a sudden.
Good.
So the news about this is that it's available to wishlist. So we don't know the days, we don't have a price, but you can wishlist it. It's on the PlayStation Store now, which is a nice step. They've also confirmed it has hot ass support if you want to play this game. 8-player multiplayer, including dogfighting.
Nice.
It's going to have a single player campaign. There's 6 aircraft in the game, including a helicopter. So it's not just all planes.
Nice.
And while you're flying around, there's a mode where you can like shoot balloons. So you got like a pistol or dart gun in your hand, and you reach out your plane and like shoot the balloons as you're flying around.
They had that in the first one, but they didn't have the multiplayer combat.
If the combat, the flying in the first one felt pretty good. I liked it a lot. If the flying feels the same or even better, but if they nail the dogfighting, which it looks a little bit right there, I think this is gonna be pretty fun too, dude. I mean, just because I like flying games, but it felt pretty good for the first one, or maybe because it was early in VR, but I really liked it. So I'm sure this one is gonna be. Obviously, the graphics are not up there, but I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Aces of Thunder is going from that more kind of realism look, whereas this is going for that artistic
Which I would
style.
prefer, yeah, but still.
Aces of Thunder is kind of stealing a lot of the hype for me anyway, but like I'll still probably want to try this one because I really like the flight games as well. So
yeah,
the more the better.
Well, multiplayer is what is for me.
If Aces comes out before this, though, I might have a hard time looking at this if Aces is already out. So if you know what I mean.
And if it comes out and it's really good and like super addictive, then I don't know if I'll look at this game.
Yeah,
but this still does look fun, you know.
Yeah, like even if I am really into Aces of Thunder, and this game comes out later, I might not be interested right away. But if the reviews are saying like, "Oh man, this game's like really awesome. Look at all the cool stuff you could do," then I'll go buy it for sure.
This game is already out on other headsets and it reviewed well on those headsets. Yeah. Like 9 out of 10 from Upload Viewer. And
I haven't even watched any of the reviews yet for it.
But yeah, it's reviewed well on those headsets. Robert Westfall says just the shitter. So I'm guessing that's the bombs he was planting. Gunny D, how you doing? He says, what's up, y'all? Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Gunny D. Robert says, I'm north of Toronto. Is that the place?
North of Toronto.
Is that the place where you get the free drugs now?
No, that's British Columbia. British Columbia. It's far away.
Okay. Monkey Nuts is here. He says, thanks, Superfly. He recently got a membership gifted. Congratulations, Monkey Nuts. Sorry, Muzz, you said but.
Ontario's probably would be the next one to go through with it. If British Columbia did, then Ontario's probably going to be the second one to do it. I'm sure.
Okay.
So I might have heroin sometime soon, guys. So,
nice. Do it live on an episode of
my first shoot up, guys. Watch this, everybody.
We'll hype it up for weeks. It's going to be sick.
It's totally legal. Don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, so this is available to wishlist. We don't have a date, but I'm interested. If it comes out before Aces of Thunder, I'm definitely going to be more interested. LSB says Muzz is a crackhead. Dead Ringer says the games in Sony's promo are not the games where... Oh, let me get to that. That's a topic. Let me get to that. Don't jump the gun. That's actually the next topic. So we're going to talk about this PSVR 2 trailer that Sony dropped on the PlayStation channel. Where it was like a sizzle reel of 4 games showing off PSVR 2, and here's the games that they decided to choose to show off, which people have been having issues with. So Firewall Ultra, Project Wingman, Ghostbusters, and Journey to Foundation are the 4 games they decided to show off. Now, a lot of people shit on Firewall Ultra, so they think that shouldn't be there. Personally, I think it's a good representation, especially of like cutting edge visuals, so I understand why it's there. The other 3,
it makes total sense to me.
I think Ghostbusters makes sense just because of the name brand. That's the only reason I would say that one. Even Journey to Foundation, I guess that's also a big name, but the one that really...
I still don't know what that is. I still don't know anything about Journey.
I don't either. I don't know much at all about that, but it's big enough to promote it. But
and I think this
Project
Wingman is the one that doesn't make any sense.
Sorry, Jackpot, you were going to say something.
I think they all make sense to me because we're talking about a trailer for people that don't know VR. We know these games fucking suck. I mean, no offense, but these people, they don't know
Not
VR.
Firewall.
Like, what is this? Well, not Firewall, to a point. Not everybody knows about these games. Just like, wait, VR? Oh, cool. Oh, man, there's a flying thing game. Oh, there's a space game. Look how cool. Oh, there's Ghostbusters. That's why, for me, it makes sense that they will show a little bit of everything. But for us as players, like, man, these games are not good to show. Like, these are not the best games that we have.
But then what happens after they watch the trailer and then go on YouTube or watch some I want to see what this game, how this game is, and then they do a search.
They don't buy it.
And then all the reviews are like 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. It's not that great.
But surely Gran Turismo 7 has to be there.
I don't think, unfortunately, yes, because otherwise we'll get more standards. I think a lot of people that are new, not even that are new, but I don't feel the majority of people, or at least not a lot of them, actually we do because we like it, but not a lot of people are gonna look at the reviews, or little kids are just gonna buy the fucking games. Oh, mom, look at this flying game, can you give me a card or shit like that? For me, like I said, it makes sense because of what they're targeting. But yeah, I agree, these games are not not the ones that you want to show if you want people to be like, okay, this looks cool, and let me see. Oh, it's actually a really good game, and get you hooked. So I agree
Well,
with you guys. I just think that it's they gotta show a
I
little
still
bit
think
of
they could have
everything.
showed a little Resident Evil 8 or 4 or something like a snake, because that's big.
I
People love
think
the big vampire woman's tits. Get them on screen.
they might also
Yeah.
be going for more recent games too. I think this is like trying to say like these games have been out recently. That's
Right.
also
Maybe.
that they all have that in common. Like if they like
good point.
of course Gran Turismo is great, but if they would have threw that into this trailer now, then people would also be saying like, oh yeah, see
Same
that's the
shit.
only
same
the only
thing,
thing the only
okay.
thing that they have to show. So
Yep. Yeah, that
Has there
makes
been
sense.
other
think-
recent games that came out that would deserve the spotlight more than these?
well, they already did one with Synapse, right? Or Synapse.
Synapse?
So
What about Red Matter?
yeah.
Red Matter 2? That's not too long ago. Is it?
Red
Or
Matter.
Red Matter
could
1
be a
just came
good
out.
one.
I mean,
Yeah, but
not
that's
that
a
long
remake,
ago.
so maybe
so-
that doesn't count.
yeah,
So, or
true.
report, whatever you want to say.
But I think
else
these are
recently came
more
out?
impactful, right? Like the jets flying, shooting it through the thing,
Yeah.
the Ghostbusters, like this fireball,
Yeah.
you just, a grenade. So I think that's what they're trying to show, like the most appealing to the like eye candy and stuff
Yeah,
like that. Obviously, Red Matter is cool, but it's like, oh, look, Mars, a red
But-
fucking planet.
So
I think would it have been better to like show the really good games that are coming up like pretty soon? Like instead of showing these games, just show like
Resident
these
Evil
games
4.
are all coming up. Resident Evil 4, Arizona Sunshine
Right.
2,
Aces of Thunder instead of Project
Aces
Wingman.
Aces of the Thunder instead of Project. Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah,
Dead Ringer says the games in Sony's promo are not the games worth playing. Give me Crossfire, Hubris, and Vampire all day. Most agree that Ghostbusters are a pass, no matter how much money Sony invested.
yeah,
yep, it's true.
yeah. Vampire would have been way better
Yeah, that's
than
a good
Project
choice.
Wingman. Yeah.
I suppose it wouldn't look as good though in a trailer is the thing. Like when it comes to Project Wingman, it's like, oh, cool, it's Top Gun. It's Top Gun in virtual reality. But whereas
Yeah.
the Vampire game is stealth, kind of slow paced. You're not really seeing anything too exciting, even though it's a much better game. Dead
Yeah.
Ringer says someone at Sony thought Wingman was Aces of Thunder. Laughing face. Fozzie makes a good point. He says Sony promoting at all is great. We are all jaded from playing a lot of trash. That's a good point. They're actually making a trailer, even though this probably took
Yeah.
2 hours to make and cost them nothing.
Yeah.
But
I feel like we just need to start, fucking talking with our wallets, man. I get it. We like games and all that, but like we talked about, don't pre-order, like don't settle. And I get it. We're like, oh, but well, this is like, no, like we're not gonna be assholes, but let's not, because I think like that's where we get so much shit and shit games and half-ass games and stuff like that, because we just said and we're like, oh, well, there's nothing else. I feel like we just have to be careful on this because otherwise we're gonna continue to get fucked and get half-ass games, and because people will still buy them.
All right.
Yeah, but then if no one's buying any games, will VR even stick around? Because
Cancel.
Well, if they make good games, they have no choice.
it's always been the
I mean, VR is not
the-
surviving because of
the
the
horrible
shit
cycle of
games. VRs are
people-
surviving because of the good games like Gran Turismo, Resident Evil, all that. The VR is not surviving because of Ghostbusters or Good Dog, Bad Dog, or fucking that game that you review about the brawling stuff. I get that
Don't
point
know.
as well, but I feel like there still needs to be a balance. I feel we completely like our level of what we expect, our expectations, and what we want in a game, and when we get it, we don't complain as much as we should. Except
Yeah.
Firewall. Firewall, we complain more than we should, but I get it. I'm not even gonna get into that because of Firewall. We do have
not
special
this time.
treatment.
Not this
Special-
time. We're
we
not
got
gonna
special
do it.
treatment for Firewall. Unfortunately, that we get it. They get it worse than everybody. But what I'm saying is, I remember PlayStation VR 1 games and stuff like that, and it was games that they were not that great, dude. They kind of fucking sucked, and everybody's like, great, and all this stuff, and pumping them out. And it's like, dude, like that's why we get shit games. Not that don't buy anything. I just feel like our standards for VR compared to flat games are a lot lower. That's what I just feel overall.
I
agree.
just wish I could see the. I just wish. I want to see the sales numbers, like on the really good games, like you said. Are enough people buying those to like
Right.
make them think like, oh man, like look how much people are caring about like these AAA games, or are they still are they still getting those like not great sales numbers even for like the big ones, right?
It's probably hard.
So
like, the hybrid ones they probably can't tell, or maybe they can, but then it's
Right.
like, different with sales and
Right.
stuff like that.
But they should be able to know like if a game is being played in VR
They should,
or
yeah.
not in VR, right? Like
Yeah.
they should know that because like especially with the games that are always connected online.
But
like,
then
they
there'd
should have a
be-
way to know that.
they could be asking themselves, well, is
Did
this
they already
just
buy it?
like they already bought it and they're just trying
Yeah.
it out of curiosity,
Yeah.
and then they never touch it again, or
Right.
Yeah, you would know that, I guess. It's
Right.
really kind of a guessing game. But I mean, it's always been like that constant, like that cycle of like the gamers are like, I'm gonna hold off until there's better games, and then the game developers are like, well, we're gonna hold off until there's better sales, and then it's just like nothing goes anywhere because they're both like on a standoff, like
which is why studios like nDreams
Yeah.
are very important, where they're still committed to virtual reality
Yeah.
games, even though it's in
And
the
who's
stage it is
right?
now.
Who's right in that situation? Like, are the people saying we're not gonna buy anything until you give us good stuff, or are like I'm talking about the
Both.
headset?
Both people.
I'm
are
talking
right.
about like the head. Yeah, I'm not buying the headset until you show me like good games.
Yeah, which
And
is
then the
reasonable.
game-
That's a reasonable thing to
Yeah.
say.
And then the game developers are like, well, we're not making good games until like headsets are out there to
Also
boss.
reasonable. Also
Yeah, exactly.
understandable.
Exactly. So it's
yeah,
it's like
it's
a never-ending
difficult.
cycle of
Someone
like
has to take the gamble. Someone like Elon Musk with 40 billion that doesn't care if they lose money. They need to be
save
making
us,
big
save us,
games.
Elon,
There you go.
save us.
I mean,
forget
Get Half-Life
forget
Alyx on
about,
PSVR 2 to Elon. Do it.
forget about Twitter. Go to VR.
Yeah.
Focus on VR.
40
I think, I mean, again, like you said, I don't know the numbers, but it's just a matter of how much money you're going to invest on these games or these studios in order to get money back. But I mean, I think that we're still early in VR. I mean, let's not fuck around. It's still kind of a niche, right? It's not like compared to like games, flag
Yeah.
games, it's just a very small amount. But I think it's just going to, like you said, Mos, it's a hard balance to try to figure it out. But I think we can at least pull it back us a little bit without risking a lot of that, because I mean VR is it's gonna grow more, but I still it's they know that you can make money. It's just smart. But like, let's say developers like Ghostbusters, no offense, they spend a lot of money. I guarantee they spend a fuckload of money to make that game, and the game sucks, and they're not gonna make anything. So I think that
But hold on.
it's just
I think
Why?
they're
Does
making.
it suck? It's like okay, I haven't heard people.
I don't-
say
oh,
that
okay.
it's
what
trash,
I'm saying,
I
well,
don't
okay,
think
what
it
I'm
sucks,
saying
and
is for
I think it might be selling pretty good because if I hear a lot of kids are playing it. Like
Well,
whenever
maybe-
whenever people go online, like reviewers say, like when I go to like just a random match, all I hear is like kids talking, which isn't a bad
Right.
thing.
right,
It's like
but,
just a lot of kids are playing it.
but what's the percentage on VR headsets that are compared to Quest? Because Quest, a lot of kids. How many of those are unless they're catering to that? But it's just like
Yeah.
I just don't, in general, I just don't see, I just think our standards are a lot less in VR than they are. And I think we can still push a little bit back without risking, not, VR dying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Same with flag games. Flag games, they have the same issue. Everybody just keeps pre-ordering, buying the dumb stuff. And then, everybody gets burned in the video game industry. I feel like it's not just us. So I feel like in general, we all need to kind of, to a point, just start being a little bit more, except I'm not gonna talk about fire, a little bit more demanding with some of these games. Not buy them in general, like, fuck all this, but be like, not be so giving and be like, oh, this game is amazing and all this stuff. Because like I said, especially on the VR one, I think because we have nothing pretty much to choose from. Anything that we get is like, oh man, this is kind of cool and this is great, But we're, like you said, we're not there anymore. Yeah, we're PS5, PSVR 2. We should expect, like you said, more than these. What was that game you review with the brawl thing?
Down and nose. Game of the year edition.
Yeah,
Down and
like no offense, he probably does. I can't do half of the game that he did, but it's just like, why is that even in the store? Like, why is that even allowed? No offense, but
Probably
stuff like
should
that.
have been
I don't
pulled
know.
up in quality control. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good point. Good points.
but yeah.
So then overall, what are your thoughts on this trailer now that we've talked all that talk? Like, you think is it more understandable now that they picked these games, or do you?
I think it makes sense because they are recent games and they're just it's it's fine. Like it's good that they're showing something off at least.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna be much happier when they start talking about like future projects that they
Yes.
want to bring out,
Yeah.
and I hope I want to hear about this before the anniversary of the PlayStation VR
Yes.
2, because if we make it to like the first year anniversary and we're still hearing crickets from Sony
But once
up
Once-
until and after the 1 year anniversary, then oh man, what's going on?
presumably like Resident Evil 4 will be out by then. So then once Resident Evil 4 is out, we don't have a big AAA to look forward to that I can think of. Like proper
No.
AAA now.
Like good
No.
games, but not like not
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
good solid ones
scale.
coming. Like
Yeah.
Aces of Thunder will be up there. You wouldn't call us on the same level
No.
as like a Resident Evil 4, you know?
No, not at all.
That's not to say all AAAs are better than indies or whatever. I'm just pointing
I
out
guess
that
the
we do
attention
need a
though.
mix.
They they're the ones that get the draw the attention. So
They're
we need
healthy.
those.
Yeah.
We need those.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to get to a point where we don't have that AAA anymore, and we're going to be like,
Yeah.
now what?
Yeah,
Just
starting
looking at
to-
each other. So we need another showcase or something. But the problem, I'm not saying problem. The actual good thing is that the PS5 itself is in a similar position where it's like, okay, Wolverine is coming, and then we don't really know anything else about that. So
Right.
there's a couple of fucking live action games, or not live action, live service games.
Yeah.
Fair Games and Concord or something.
Sony.
When they didn't show anything really off of them.
Yeah.
So you would expect like a showcase or something would come up early 2024, and that's when we'd see some more PSVR 2 games. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard Sony's maybe holding just maybe deciding to like hold it back a little bit on all these live service games that they had all lined up, because like
Yeah.
I think they're going all in a little too much.
Apparently they had
All
12
these-
and they canceled 6 or something.
Yeah,
So,
12 live service games. Like
Yeah.
what? Like geez,
but
man.
then
Like
like
most of
Firewall
these.
Ultra would be one of those. So like they do add up a little bit.
You cancel 6. Like, how do you fuck up that much? It's like, oh, we had 12 in mind. Now we only doing 11. But like, oh, we cancel half of them. Like, what
Well, I
the
think
fuck?
maybe they're just seeing the reaction. Like people are really negative to like when they showed off Fair Games and when they showed off. Well, I think Fair Games was the big one. Where it's like, oh, this is what we're looking forward to now on Sony. All these fucking live action shooter things that have failed everywhere else, and then they kind of.
Well,
I think they're
what do
backtracking.
you- Right. Well, what would you prefer though? Because you're talking about, oh, we need obviously we prefer good AAA games, but do
Yeah.
you prefer to have AAA games just to put them out there because it's gonna bring eyes? Like, I guess Ghostbusters is better than I think, but a game that is not the greatest. Or do you prefer to just have good games, like even though like indies, like not indies, but not AAA, kind of like pixel
well, I
ripped or
want-
kind of that type of
I
stuff?
want like good AAA games,
Of
as
course,
well
of
as
course,
the good
but-
indies. I just.
But we
I just want a
won't.
healthy
Let's be
mix.
realistic.
A healthy mix
We
is what I
won't.
want.
Right. I just don't think we'll. It's because without the support of Sony, I just think it's gonna be very spread out when we get the good exclusives.
But they could have, like they've been making deals with Capcom, obviously. So I don't see why they can't make these deals with other studios. Maybe these other studios aren't interested. Like there is that one dude in Capcom who was a fan of VR and he helped make that happen as well. So it wasn't just Sony's money that made that happen. So maybe the other big studios don't have that. But I think they have to be banging on Rockstar's door saying, please, GTA 5 or GTA 6, one of them, I don't care which one, get them on PSVR 2. And they do that, we're laughing.
That's all they need. That's all they need.
We're laughing.
Yeah, they win if they can land that, but that's
Yeah.
a big get.
Big if. You gotta convince them. But Rockstar do owe Sony because they did have a deal for that Agent game that was supposed to come on PS3 ages
Yeah.
ago. So maybe they got some kind of cachet there with them or something.
And they're already dabbled their feet into VR with LA
That's
Noir.
And GTA San Andreas is coming to Quest, allegedly. If it hasn't
No,
been
it's no,
cancelled.
it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be. So they were interested for a while.
February.
Yeah.
February 2024.
Yeah. But and they had the marketing like for GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption. They did have like exclusive marketing and exclusive content in games, so they do have like a tight relationship with each other.
Yeah.
So how out of realms of the possibilities would it be for one of their games to come to PSVR 2? They have to do it. Let me catch up in the chat real quick. LSP says, I read that PSVR 2 isn't selling well and neither is the Quest 3. That's interesting.
Yeah, the Quest 3 was not gonna sell as much as the Quest 2, not even close.
Why not?
Because there's no need.
The price tag is pretty high on it, like compared to
Well,
the.
a lot of people have. If you were gonna have a Quest, for the most part, most people already have one. Of course, there's people buying Quest all the time, but there's just such a amount of Quest 2s out there that, like, for me, I don't need to buy. Well, I need it because the battery sucks on my Quest 2. But you know what I mean. I don't need to. There's no games that are like, man, I need to
Yeah,
buy
that's
Quest
gonna
3
change.
because of the games are right. But that's what the sales are kind of sucky right now because I
right
don't
now.
think of course, if you have the money, if you want to, of course, because you can have better support with the PCVR, and there are some games, some mixed reality games and stuff like that. But for me, the expense, since I already have the Quest 2, I don't see for me doing it right now, and I think a lot of people are in the same boat. For PSVR 2, I don't know why. Maybe because I mean, PlayStation 5s are available now pretty much everywhere, right? So I feel like if you wanted one, you have one. But maybe people just bought PS5s and now they have to save to buy PSVR 2s. But I don't know why the PSVR 2 is not selling as well. But I think the Quest 3 is just because it's harder.
The last official thing we heard about PSVR 2 sales is that it was outpacing PSVR 1 at the same period of its life. So
I would hope so.
Right, but that makes. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, PSVR 1 when it came out, it was. I mean, we're talking about niche right now. Even there, it was like nobody pretty much knew about it. So I feel like now, with the help of the Quest and the popularity of VR that Quest brought as well to the more broad market, not just Sony players, I think that's why the PSVR 2 now became more popular when it first came out, because VR overall was just, more known. But that's just what I kind of think.
No, I agree. But I don't know where LSB saw that PSVR 2 isn't selling.
He's
I don't know
lying.
if that's
He's a little
recent thing.
bitch.
We do know he is an undercover spy for the Reptilians, so it could be misinformation. Ray Schwartz says, not to go too far off topic, but I'm missing FX pinball. Nonsense. Just go play pinball in real life.
No.
Some of these games, like, okay, I can't fly a fighter jet in real life, so I'll do it in VR. But you can just get a pinball table. What are you doing?
It's immersive. You play like
they're not cheap.
One and like,
They're not
No,
cheap. Getting a
they're
pinball
cheap.
table is not cheap. None of them are cheap.
Make one.
But no, it's more immersive because the room that you're at, and then some of the things, like if it's a Star Wars one, you might have a ship that flies on top instead of on the table itself. It's more immersive than just a pinball table.
All right, okay. I just don't understand. Danny says
You
Sony.
understand half of things in life, so it's fine.
Well, half of things in life is a lot of fucking things. So you're telling me I understand half of all things in life. So thank you very much for that compliment on my massive intelligence.
Your
All right,
mental
thank you.
gymnastics,
Yeah,
whatever.
'cause I'm able to do that because I got a massive
Next.
intelligence. Donnie says Sony advertising VR in any fashion is good. They're moving forward with what we all want. Sort of is a plus. No, I agree. I agree. But there was backlash over the choice of games. LSP says some people are ringing the death bell for VR like they always do. That's true. Robert, sorry.
It's never gonna stop.
Robert says Song in the Smoke 2 with co-op and Warcraft Demands. Crazy how I forgot all about Song in the Smoke. That one just went right out of my head. And that was a big launch title as well.
Isn't Green Hell 2 out now? And it has co-op?
Green Hell 2?
I don't know if
the
it has
first one
co-op
is.
now, but
Or is it the first one? Or maybe it's just Green Hell.
Green Hell
Does
is
Green
out.
Hell-
And they were saying that co-op update was going to come for it. But
Okay,
I
maybe
haven't heard anything
maybe
about
I
it
thought it was Green Hell 2.
yeah, but they needed to release that game with the VR support, because I mean, of course it sold, but they would have sold so many more copies. Because okay, now let's be honest, when they released the co-op, are you guys excited to buy it now?
I already have, so I got a review copy. So
because you get a review copy, you
because-
bitch.
Yeah,
But
when I
we
get
don't.
When I get the code or the co-op, then I'll play it.
Whatever. Next topic.
Decepticon says VR will be niche until it hits future shit and lower price and smaller units.
They also have to figure out how to get rid of motion sickness for like a lot of people.
All they need is
I don't
GTA.
know.
All they need is GTA 5 or GTA 6. Man, can you imagine if it launched GTA 6 launched day one?
Dream
VR
on.
support. Fucking
Dream on.
mental.
You
It
say,
was
oh,
mental.
you
I'm
imagine
just saying imagine.
PSVR
Right?
2 is gonna launch with GTA 5. PSVR 2, I
Imagine.
know it. I know it.
Man, everyone with the Quest would just destroy it.
Phasmophobia,
Everyone with the Quest would
Phasmophobia
just
coming.
smash it. It would top Phasmophobia for me, and that's my most anticipated.
Maybe that's why Sony's been so quiet, because they were just putting all their money and resources into acquiring this deal with Rockstar and bringing it on VR.
Fozzie Bear says PC being Sony's only competition is hurting us also. Yeah, they're kind of. I think they actually said it before. Remember when PSVR 1 came out first, and this is before the Quest, and it was outselling everything on PC. Like, it was admitted to 5 million units quicker than any other headset or whatever. And Sony came in an interview and they were like, actually, we're not comfortable being the market leader. We were hoping to just like sit back and, you know, kind of watch how things panned out. But then they were kind of forced into being the leaders, which they weren't comfortable with. Which you can see by the way they, you know,
well, I feel like
push it too hard.
PC VR right now, it's a lot more accessible price wise than it was 5-7 years ago. I feel like, I don't know, people tell me, because right now you can run VR games with like $800 computer. I felt like back in the day when I heard about computers and building them, and for VR, when it first started, I heard that you needed like a beast computer and spend like $2,000, $3,000 or shit like that. So maybe that's why it sold more back in the day, because PC VR was a shit, but it was like, fuck, you really needed to spend some good money in order to have one. That's why I jumped to the PlayStation, because I was like, man, PC VR, I like VR, looks awesome, but I can't afford a fucking computer. And then you have to buy the headset, which was also like another $1,000 almost, or some crazy thing. It's impossible. So
the price entry for those early VR headsets was like absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Decepticon says you can get a Quest 2 for $200 reduce at the moment. And LSB says battery sucks on Quest 3 too, bitch. So there you go.
That's not good. That's not good.
I'll keep my battery.
Once Quest 4 is announced, then they're going to put that update out in Quest 3 that'll limit the battery to like 10% of its capacity. Robert says viewer pigeons not selling headsets. Lol. Viewer pigeons, is that a real game? PS games
maybe
are
Angry
$10 more than Steam for same games. That's true. Yes, all consoles do that. Steam.
Well, why?
Cheaper.
It's stupid. Like it wasn't the first excuse. Oh, PlayStation 5 VR games, because they look better in the graphics. So we gotta charge $70.
This is not a VR thing. This is just like if you wanted to buy fucking, you know, name a flat game, Battlefield is $10 more on PlayStation than it is on PC. Steam is on. I think it's because Steam take a smaller cut.
I don't know. Maybe
PlayStation take 30%.
And if you want PC games, there's a lot of other websites that are legit that you can get games a lot cheaper than Steam. Like literally, there's some games that for me are like, do I buy it on the PlayStation and it costs me $30, or do I find a Steam key online for like $5 for the same game? It's just like, you know, doesn't make any sense. But yeah, for the VR games, I don't know how much they take and cut.
That's a very big plus for playing VR on PC, is the fact that if you buy anything on Steam, you can get your money refunded after a couple hours if you don't like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where you're stuck with it on Sony. So that's as much as I hate to admit it, like people that don't know if they're going to be able to like play certain games because they do get like sick and stuff from games. It's not as threatening to like get into VR that way, because I'll just try it out for a bit and see if I can handle it, and if I can't, I'll just get my money back.
Well, not only
go
ahead. Shut up. Go ahead.
I was just going to say it's amazing that Sony are able to get away with this, like especially like in Europe, like Germany and stuff, have very like positive consumer laws and stuff where you're allowed to, like if you buy something online to like a clothes. If you buy clothes and have it delivered to your house, you're allowed to return that over here because of the laws that Germany do.
Right.
But they're able to get away with it for some reason.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Jackpot?
I forgot that you're a bitch. No, I honestly forgot. Probably nothing important.
Well, certainly not important.
They could fix that problem though.
How do they fix the problem?
Just having more demos, just like short demos for the games. Like play the game, even if it's just like 10 minutes. Play like a 10-minute little segment of the game just to see what it looks like and how the movement makes you feel and stuff. And then that way there's no risk.
Indies, though. Apparently
then
that's
just give us.
That's another cost, like a big thing.
Just give us reviews. Let us put after they track how many hours we play in each game. It says right there 20 hours. Yeah. Let us go on the PlayStation official website, logged into our thing, and then like Steam, this game sucks ass. This is sucks. Okay, how long you played it? 10 minutes. Okay, no, and then we gotta do that's play for 50 hours. Okay, this game is legit. Like we should be able to see the gamer tag of the person, their review, and the amount of hours or time that they spend on that because we literally have nothing like
not-
months. We can't get
The
refunds. We don't get
That's
reviews.
that's
we get
that's
nothing.
never gonna happen. You can't.
I know,
You can't.
but
You can't
refunds are
think.
not gonna happen either.
No,
gonna
I
say
know,
there-
but you can't think of Sony in the same category as Steam. Steam
I
doesn't
know.
like have any affiliation directly with any of these games. They're just like a platform where the games go on, so they don't give a shit what people are like saying about games. It's just like
Right.
that's where the games are. Where
I know,
Sony's
and
like Sony's a company. They're not gonna let people like start just trashing stuff on their website.
I would say
Well,
that Sony did recently add the 5 stars, so you can give.
They-
Yeah,
them
but you
stars
can't.
now.
But
I
you
know it's
can't
not the
write
same thing. I
anything.
know it's not the same.
But you can because they're little bitches because you should be able to. It's not like I mean
No company's gonna do that and let people put comments of whatever they
Well, they
want
should be
on
able to
there.
like leave a respectful
some
review,
but
you
then
know?
nobody's
Yeah.
buying their games and you got to decide because then nobody's gonna buy your games because everybody's
Yeah.
afraid because you don't get refunds because you don't get all this. That's why Steam is good because I get what you're saying, but then they're just shooting themselves
Yeah.
in the foot. Nobody's gonna buy their games. It's too scary. It's a lot of money. They're not asking $10 for these games. They're asking $50 for the new games.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's
It's just-
true. Like we're getting beyond like all VR games cost like $15-20. Now we're getting into more like games are now averaging $30 to $40 or some higher.
Right.
So like the more the cost goes up, the more the risk is for people to be like, should I even try this game?
When I feel like they're still doing it because, like I said, we're
Yeah.
still buying the games. We're still buying almost everything, and we don't really push back a lot. So I think they're just like we can get away with it. Why are we gonna offer refunds? Why are we gonna do this when we still? It's not affect. It's all about money, like you said. Once they start affecting their wallets, then that's when they make changes. So for now, and like I agree, they're not gonna let trash or whatever, but they'll figure something out. I guarantee you, if their wallets start hurting, they'll do something so we can have more confidence when we want to buy a game.
I don't think there's enough PSVR 2 owners
There's-
out there to hurt their wallets. And if every
No,
single one
exactly.
of them did something,
No.
it would
No,
start
that's what I'm
moving
saying.
the
It's
This
never
is
gonna
a
happen.
the VR is a very, very like small side project for Sony
Yeah.
technically, like at this stage. Like they're
Yeah, I
not
don't give a fuck.
I think
like
it's safe to
they're-
say we haven't hit 1 million yet.
they're interested in the future of VR, but they don't care how long, or they're not worried about like the current state of it in terms
Like
of
a
like
side thing, like
Yeah.
a side fun thing they're doing. So
They're keeping their
Exactly.
they're keeping their fingers in the honeypot just in case it does take off,
Yeah.
and then they have an established foothold, and then they can boom.
Yeah.
that way.
if something blows up with it, like a Fortnite kind of explosion, where like suddenly everybody's like, you got to try this, and everybody's talking about like getting their friends to jump into it because it's just starting to take off. Then Sony's already in there, so
Yeah, they're positioned for that.
Yeah.
Donnie says,
and it's gonna happen eventually. Like something's gotta come
I
along
fucking hope so.
that
Yeah,
everybody
eventually.
says.
Uh,
And you know what that's gonna be? It's gotta be like a Grand Theft Auto. Like it's gotta be something that's like so big that people can't deny. Like now I have to see. I have to see what this is like.
VR,
Yeah.
not VR, but like connecting your brain into something else. Like
that's
it's
not
gonna
in
happen,
your
and
lifetime. You're not gonna see that in your life.
No,
well, I don't know. Whenever it happens, what
I-
I'm saying is that is gonna happen in the future, like Neuralink stuff like that. We're just gonna plug in, so this is gonna happen eventually. But I think, like you said, it's so early, and it's gonna take so long. Like Decepticon says, unless we have something super small, affordable, and mainstream, like you said, GTA, Call of Duty, until we get all those things, I think we're just gonna continue to bitch at Sony because they're not gonna want to invest more. They're not gonna want to do that, and we're gonna be the ones. I don't mean me and you, but like the community are gonna be the ones that keep this alive and pushing it together. Because it's not
yeah,
them.
yeah. Like I said before, like I don't think VR is gonna ever die just because there's always gonna be advancements. It just depends on how fast it goes along. Development time is all about how much people are putting into it, but it's not going to stop it because they know the potential of like where it can lead. So they're just not going to like cancel it altogether, even if it's just like small businesses like that are advancing it here and there until it gets big enough for other companies to like go all in on it once it gets to that point. But I mean, we're not even at the stage yet where we have like like the VR gloves or anything to have like your hand movements in VR yet.
Right, we're gonna be old.
And
Well,
that-
you guys are old as fuck, but I'm gonna be old as shit when that happens.
You're gonna be dead as well, pal. Don't worry about that.
Well,
Nah, when we get gloves,
Smoke,
no,
lung
dude.
damage from smoke and vaping and all that
No,
shit. You're gonna
I
be
told
popcorn
you
lung.
it
You're gonna
doesn't
have popcorn lung. You're gonna be dead.
Popcorn lung.
5 years. You got 5 years max.
as cool as great as Gran Turismo is, imagine how much more immersive it would be is if you could put on VR gloves and then have a racing wheel, and then you don't have to be holding anything. You just put your hands on the wheel, and where your hands are going on the wheel, you see your hands moving around the wheel as you're grabbing it, and then you can also make gestures to people out windows and stuff
Roll
because
down
your
the window.
hands are,
Grab the roller.
you could do anything.
roll down
Yeah,
the
anything.
window.
You could reach over and turn on your radio and like
Yeah.
turn the all that kind of stuff when you
Spotify
have
playlist.
when you have gloves that are like accurate enough to match your movements one for one, no matter what you're doing. Then you have all that interactivity that you can just do with your hands, not holding a controller.
Yeah, I
Then
think
that opens up a whole new avenue of like what you can do in a game because you're not like pressing a button to grab something; you're just grabbing it with your
Right.
hand and turning.
but I think we for mainstream people, like to the point like, oh, people are scared and there needs to be new and slow steps. I feel like mixed reality is going to be really helpful to get VR a little bit more mainstream, because I feel like mixed reality is a little bit less intimidating for some people, and a lot easier to get a step into the VR side of things. So I think that yeah, you put your I don't like it either, but I think that's what's going to happen, because some people, it's going to be easier for them to jump into mixed reality first and expecting them to jump into a full-on experience racing, flying a jet and stuff like that. So I think, even though I'm not really a fan of mixed reality, I'm not a fan because what we have right now, but I've seen and I show you, I think Decepticon sent you this, a scary type game like we talked about last time in your own house, that shit appears to you based on your rooms and all that.
Yeah.
I think it really can be cool. But like I said, I feel like a lot of people, like you said, they don't want to jump into VRs too much or whatever. But with the mixed reality, it might be a little bit easier to take that first step into VR.
Yeah, it's a nice like entryway for people that aren't experienced with it. But Fozzie says something I totally forgot with the Apple VR. They have like cameras that actually do track your hands, so you don't even have to have gloves. But I don't know I don't know too much about the Apple VR and what it can do and what kind of like the hand tracking, is that even involved in like games at all? I don't know if it would be.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the story is with Apple. It's kind of it's been like delayed multiple times, isn't it? It's coming next year or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know all the specs about it, but I did hear that it can track your hands. But
Well, some
so
Quest games can.
yeah, like if the tracking is good enough, then you wouldn't need gloves. I guess it would just watch what your hands are doing.
Yeah, some Quest 3 games have that already. It's not as perfect, but it works pretty good enough that there's some games that they switch the support to be hand tracking, and with the Quest 3, hand tracking is a lot better. So they already have that. But like your point is the gloves. The gloves you're gonna be able to feel, and you're like, oh, it's whatever. No, look at the headset. Look at the PlayStation controllers. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah, if you have a glove on, I don't know what kind of like haptics you could have in a glove though. Like it would have to be like a.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the big problem.
I've seen
you could have haptics
things that can you hold things and it like presses and shit on it.
To stop your fingers from moving, basically. If you want to hold something, like Muzz's example of Gran Turismo, you got the wheel in real life, that's good. But then if you're playing a different type of game where you're not going to have a gun in real life or whatever, and then all of a sudden it feels
exactly
weird.
Right.
Then you're just like holding your hands like this and nothing's in them. Yeah.
Well, it has to be a specific type of games maybe that will work with that. Probably it's not going to be like universal, like most games will work, but maybe some specific experiences might really work with the glove, but not everything.
Yeah, these are all pipe dreams we're talking about, by the way. We've been pipe dreaming for the last while. Donnie has left, by the way. He's saying I got to get some trophies and firewall. Donnie, happy Thanksgiving to you. Not I don't.
Later, Donnie.
It doesn't matter to me because I'm Irish, but and all the Americans, happy Thanksgiving. LSP says Quest 3 hand tracking is pretty good. Fozzie says, oh yeah, we read that one already. Okay, we move on to the next topic because we spent way too long on that. The next one is good news. Five Nights at Freddy the first one now, not the second one, but we've got news about both of them. The first one is stealth released on PSVR 2. So you can get it right now. PSVR 2 version comes with the DLC. And if you owned it on PSVR 1, it's only $10 to get an upgrade. But I think is it 30 to buy new? I can't remember what the price is to buy new. But that just came out of nowhere. And Five Nights at Freddy is actually a big game. I actually saw the movie of it the last day.
Yeah.
That's a big
What do you
one.
think?
The young ones. It was, because I don't really know anything about the games, but I watched the movie and it was.
Did you
It was
watch someone
alright.
with your kids?
No, this is when they were sick in the hospital. I was kind of like staying up. In case
Oh, I
I
was
got
like, I
phone
thought
calls,
kids are
so-
not supposed to watch. I thought this was like
No,
an
no, no. I
adult.
just told you I stayed up. All right.
Oh,
Not
okay.
then. My kids, one of my children was in the hospital, and I was waiting up in case I got a phone call because I didn't know what was happening at the time. So I stuck a movie on, and that was there. So I watched that, and it was like, okay, you know. But it's really popular with people who are maybe like your age, Jackpot, your generation. Like people like ate that shit up, you know, when PewDiePie and Jacksepticeye and all of them were streaming this, and you know, it was big news back then.
Is it still as big as it was? Is this? I guess like it's doing good in the box office, so I guess it has to be still.
I think like a lot of those people who grew up playing it, like they're all watching us in the cinema, but I don't know about the games themselves, like if they're as big as they used to be. But anyway, the other news is the sequel to this, which is Help Wanted 2, got a date. It's coming December 14th. So there you go. You got 2 Five Nights at Freddy games releasing.
Yeah,
within a
pretty
month
close
of each other.
together. One unexpected just shadow drop, and then pretty soon release date for the second one. So
Haven't heard too much in terms of like what the improvements are going from PSVR 1 to PSVR 2 for the first game. But the second one
Did you
will
play
be
the
using eye
first
tracking and stuff.
Did you play Did you guys play the first game?
No, I've never played the Five Nights at Freddy game.
So, because my understanding, because this was a flat game at some point, right?
Yeah, it's more of a hybrid.
my-
I think the sequel will be as well.
Okay, because what I've again, I don't watch spoilers, but the only thing that I saw from a long time ago, the flat one, it looked like you just press buttons, and if you press the wrong one, a thing will just jump scare you, and it was just like repeat. And I was like, what the fuck is this game? So I'm
Yeah.
assuming it's a lot more than that because it's popular. But I'm curious. I don't know nothing.
Well,
Nothing
the original games that were released on Steam, they were like you just sat in one security room looking through CCTV cameras, and that was it.
Right.
But then these Help
That's why I
Wanted
looked.
games,
Okay.
I think you're wandering around, like you're actually exploring an area, and there's lots of different mini games for you to do.
Okay. That sounds better.
While you're avoiding being murdered by possessed animatronics or whatever they are.
Yeah. Could be good.
Yeah. So
How much is this? Do we know?
the information is probably there. I didn't add it though. I don't know what it is. I think the
I would
first one
assume-
is 30 or 40, but the sequel
Yeah.
could be 40 maybe. Well, considering it's a flat game as well. So it might be more.
7. Wait, is this the VR one? Finance or Freddy's
Help
PS4?
Wanted,
No.
It's got to be Help Wanted 2.
Yeah, that's coming out next month. I assume it's available to pre-order. Maybe it's not.
Help Wanted 2, whatever the price would be.
Decepticon says it's a bunch of mini
$30.
$30 for both of them. Both of them are 30 then.
That's for the first one right now on
Okay,
the
what's the-
PlayStations. That's expensive.
What's the sequel, you bitch?
I'm looking.
Look faster.
You skink. The
Decepticon.
second one is, I don't know. Doesn't show. It's not for
Doesn't show?
pre-order anymore, I guess. I don't know. Can't
That's
find
weird. You saying there's no Help Wanted 2 on this PlayStation Store? And it's coming
it.
out?
It is. I can find it here, but it doesn't show me a price.
Maybe they haven't revealed one yet.
It says this game has just been announced. Check back soon to get the latest news, screenshots, and trailers.
All right.
Interesting.
No,
So you
40.
can
I'll say it's
pre-order
gonna be $40. It's gonna be 40
Yeah.
bucks.
40
probably.
sounds a bit right.
If the first one is
If the
30,
first
then
one
that's
is
probably
30.
40, yeah.
Yeah.
Decepticon says it's a bunch of mini game type games. Some are creepy, some are whack. I think
Yeah.
the second one is they're adding a lot more variety to the mini games, is what I read up on it. So damn, that was a weird bark. Speaking of games coming out in December, Vertigo 2, the game that was supposed to come out in October, has got a date, and it's coming December 12th, 2 days before Five Nights at Freddy. That's the digital version. If you want to get it physical, you have to wait until February the 9th.
Yeah, that's a long wait
Yeah,
to
it
get
is.
a physical copy.
That sucks that they
Yeah.
release them so far apart because I love physical copy games, dude.
I don't.
Especially
I don't
VR,
have
but I
one.
don't have.
With PS4, like I just gave up on. I gave up
I
on physical.
I always used to be a physical. I always used to be all about physical copies of games until I started VR,
Yeah.
especially with the first VR, because like I did not like the process of having to take my headset off and grab a disc
Swap a disc
and change
yeah.
games. Yeah, instead
That
of
was
just
pain.
being able to choose it while you're in the headset. And like,
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
Man, it's just I don't think I don't have one single physical PS5 game, which is crazy. Like I have a PS3 collection at home that's like fucking massive.
yeah.
So yeah, that's nothing. There's no news about this. There's still no news on whether that DLC that came out in the PC version is going to come to this too. Hopefully it will.
Probably not.
Come on PSVR 2. Oh, that's an old trailer. I was like, what is that date? But yeah, that's the old trailer. The new date is the 12th of December. And
It's so weird with this one. Like I do want to play it. I plan on playing it when it comes out, but I'm still not like overly excited about
Yeah.
it. Just because I don't. Maybe I just haven't seen enough gameplay of like people playing it. Like I've just seen like the trailers like that's playing here, but the trailers don't have me like I guess.
I think it's just something you have to experience yourself. Based
Yeah,
on what I'm hearing.
I'm sure once you're in the game, it's gonna be amazing. But like just seeing it as a trailer, like it doesn't make me super excited about it. But
People are like, "Oh, this is better than Half-Life Alyx. This is Game of the
Yeah.
Year." People upset
way that
that
everyone-
it wasn't in the category for Game of the Year. Maybe we will be as well once we play it.
yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
So I'm not sold. I'm sold on this game not by like what I've seen of it, but just by how much people are saying it's.
Yeah,
you
the
got to
word-
play it.
the
So all
positive
right,
word of
yeah,
mouth.
yeah. Which I guess it works. Like people talking up VR in a positive way.
So that's a game that's coming out in December. What about a game that was supposed to come out in December and no longer will be? Bulletstorm. There you
Oh, I
go.
thought you were going to be talking about the other one. that was October. Never mind.
Oh.
That's
yeah.
another-
Bulletstorm has been delayed, but it is a short delay. It's not too bad. So it was supposed to go out December. I can't remember what the date was, but now it's been pushed to the 18th of January. The reason they gave was just to improve the experience, one of those generic statements. I'm not too bothered about this. Like, it's a good game. Like, it looks like it's going to be a solid game, but I'm not like overly hyped. So take your time.
No, but this one has to come out and be good. Like this one has a lot of fate of future games riding on this one's success or not. I
You think so?
I think so, in a way, like, because this is like showing game developers, not just Sony, like if we go into the older game well and bring old games into VR, this
Well, why
like
didn't surely Skyrim
people-
should have done that already?
But do you mean in sales or if the game is actually good? Because I don't think this game is gonna show in sales that people are like, oh man, we should get into VR because it's not a,
I think
But look,
I think it
Skyrim-
has to. I think it has to have decent sales, but it also has to have good quality in terms of people to buy it. Like you're not
Right.
going to have people saying like, "Oh, this is a pass. Like it's not working very well in VR at all." No one's going to buy it. But I mean, this is what I want to see happen in VR. But
Yeah.
if this one just totally flops, then when's the next one gonna come out where
Yeah.
another game developer takes a shot at like bringing up an old game like a BioShock or something
Right.
better than Bulletstorm, like
I
or
mean-
for me anyway, like one that
Right.
I want to play like more than Bulletstorm. But if this one does really well and like everyone's praising it, like oh man, look at what can be done, bring in like an older generation game into VR, it works great. And it brings new life into the franchise and all this kind of stuff. But
You described
I think it has
Skyrim.
potential. It
Skyrim
looks-
sold
looks
well. It was
good.
always in the charts. So that you would think that would have kicked off a wave of them if it was going to do it. So I don't think this
Right,
has
too
more
early.
potential than Skyrim has. Skyrim is a bigger name and it did well.
But it's too early in VR for that to like
True.
go out more. When
Are
it
we
first
not-
came out.
Are we not still early in VR now?
Yeah, but it's a little bit better. I mean, it's not gonna, nothing's gonna explode. Let's be honest. But for them to start noticing, like Muzz says, we need something now. And obviously, they're growing. Look at the amount of VR in people's homes compared to when Skyrim came out. So I think it's just a slow process. It's gonna continue to go up. But like Mus says, games like this being successful, it's definitely gonna speed up the process. Not gonna make it immediate, but it's gonna make it faster because these developers like Mus is gonna be like, hey, well,
If
maybe we start spending a little bit more money and more IPs, like better IPs like Bioshock and stuff like that, Fallout and stuff.
Well, there is a Fallout VR that apparently wasn't that good.
Right, because it was shit. The port was shit, but if they actually make it good, the Fallout games are good, except the new ones. But the Fallout 4, they're good games. It's just the VR, they didn't do a good job. But if they do a good job in the VR, the games are good, and I think it will. I think there's just probably the IPs are too expensive, or maybe like they know somebody. I don't know, but I'm sure it's expensive.
Yeah,
risky.
like I don't know how an acquisition of like if someone wanted to go and make like a Bioshock in VR, like
Who holds the rights? Is it 2K? So you got to pitch it to 2K. That's how that would work.
2K.
So
yeah, they're the ones that own it.
Rockstar is
So
going to have to go to 2K as well.
It wouldn't really be the game developer. It would be who owns who owns the IP. So you'd have to ask them if you can get the IP to put in VR.
Strauss Zelnick, I think is his name. He's like the CEO of 2K. I think he's come out and like VR isn't where it needs to be or something like that. So that's not good to hear.
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, it depends on the show.
How much of a splash did that make? Say if we did get a Bioshock in VR, like how much of a push would that make on the headset?
I think Bioshock is one of those games like Half-Life where people are like, "Damn, it was iconic. It did this and this and this." But I think a game like Horizon outsold it. Like Half-Life didn't sell as many as people kind of make it sound like it did, and I feel like Bioshock might be the same where. Not mad, like it didn't like probably sold a few million, but not like huge. Like, not like 10 million or 50
Half-Life?
or 20. Half-Life didn't sell that much either. I remember like when Half-Life Alyx was coming out, and like people were comparing this to Call of the Mountain. Like Horizon.
Almost everybody that has a PC VR bought the fucking game. Like almost everybody did. So I don't
looked up on Wikipedia or whatever, and like Horizon had sold 20 million, and the Half-Life combined was up at like 13 or something like that.
Horizon Call of the Mountain?
Not Call of the Mountain. Zero Dawn. Just Zero Dawn, the first game. I was comparing Half-Life games, not Alyx. Like
right, the
1
old
and 2
school,
and
right.
those ones. I was comparing that to other franchises. Because people are like, Half-Life was so fucking big, it would be such a massive guess. And then I looked into the actual numbers and it's like, well, is it?
But it's older. Not everybody. I mean, Half-Life is huge, but I feel like it's an older.
No, you're right. But I'm just saying, I think
it's harder.
I think Bioshock might be the same, where people like it didn't maybe sell as. Let me look it up right now because that's going to annoy me. I just want to know.
Well, I think it's gonna sell better than Bulletstorm, but I don't think it's gonna be the game that everybody's gonna. I think it's just gonna turn heads, but not like everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my god, look!" You know what I mean? Especially
when
if they do a good job.
When Half-Life 2 came out, you had to have like a crazy powerful PC to play it, and a lot of people might not have had access to a PC that could run it.
Okay, so
it might have hurt the sales a little bit. But
I might have to eat some shit here, but. Bioshock, as a series in totals, how many games is that? 1, 2, and
3?
Three. Yeah,
and that's 41 million copies. So that's a lot more than I was expecting. So yeah, Bioshock would move the needle.
Yeah, well, eat shit.
I'm eating it. I'm eating that shit. All right, it's tasty. It's delicious. But again, it's a 2K game, so don't expect to get Bioshock anytime soon. Next topic.
Don't pre-order it either way.
Don't pre-order. Oh, it's like the next topic is the last one before we go to the fax machine. Let me just open it up. This is about Among Us. So, remember the last thing we said about Among Us is that I suspected that there was like a 1-year exclusivity deal with Zuck. So I think I was probably wrong about that because that deal ended, or that 1 year was up on the 15th of November. So, but they've since announced that Among Us VR is coming to Pico. So I don't know if you know about the Pico headsets. I don't think it's available in America, but it is in Europe. It's like a Quest competitor. And they're saying that's coming out on the 5th of December. So in their blog post that they made, they said, before you ask, because we know you're going to ask about the PSVR 2 version, we'll have more, or we can't say, but we plead the 5th, is what they said. So that's that thing people in America, like fucking George Bush was saying all the time. It's like, I'm not talking, but we plead the 5th could be a hint that it is also coming on the 5th of December? Like, could they release it on Pico and PSVR 2 on the same
Wait,
day?
wait. When is the Pico release?
The 5th of December.
Okay. Then
And
that
they're
could
saying we
be.
plead
Yeah,
the
that could be.
5th. You know, so that's an interesting
be.
usage of words. It
Sa-
feels
saying
like-
saying saying the date without saying the date. No, we were
Exactly.
saying that phrase about pleading the 5th.
So
Yeah.
And
it could
how they're
be-
saying
It
it,
could be
yeah.
like in Sony's hands, like Sony want to do the official blog post or
Yeah.
whatever where they reveal it, but they're like giving us the hint. We plead the 5th. It could be very clever.
Yeah, I think this is a Christmas game, probably. It's like Resident Evil 4.
Just told you it's coming on the 5th. I'd be surprised now if it's not the 5th, because that's a cheeky way of saying that, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
They probably will be.
Or they just literally don't want to say anything, and they're just like, play the 5th, and then you
Yeah,
just
but
don't
just
thinking
say-
about it too hard.
just say we can't say anything at this time. Just don't bring in 5th. Don't say dates. Don't say words that can be, you know, misinterpreted as dates. I can't speak. LSB says, I played the original Bulletstorm. It was good. I've heard like a lot of people say it was good or okay. I haven't heard anyone like being, oh, it was amazing, or you know,
Maybe it's a,
maybe
like,
VR will elevate it.
and it's one of those games that a lot of people that did play it are like think back fondly of it, and it might not be a franchise that would cost Sony a whole lot of money to like acquire the rights to make the VR version of, because it's not like a.
Yeah, this
It didn't make-
This isn't a Sony thing though, is it? I think like it's coming to multiple headsets and. I think
Oh,
it's,
for some reason I thought it was just a Sony game.
I think it's like a third party thing.
Oh, never mind.
Decepticon says,
Well,
sorry, go on. It's only Decepticon.
Whoever's making the VR game, they still would have had to like acquire the rights from the game
Epic, I
developers
think.
or
Who
whoever
owns
owns the IP,
I
right?
can't remember who owns that. Is it Epic? I think it might have been an Epic game. After
Yes,
Gears of
because
War.
it is the same company. Yeah, it's the same as Gears of War, so it'd be Epic.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't think Epic's making this. So whoever is making the VR,
People Can Fly is in my head. But I think People Can Fly maybe the original creators. Maybe there was a studio working for Epic at the time. And then
Yeah.
Incorvo was making the VR version. I don't know. Decepticon says Unreal Mod will probably work with Bioshock on PC VR. Nobody wants to play PC VR Decepticon. Anyway, will you get Among Us Day 1? On the 5th?
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
this will be a fun to
Cheap.
play.
This will be fun.
This will be in
Fun.
the rotation, right? Because this would be a
100%.
fun.
What,
game.
hey, what
Yeah,
would the
this
emoji be for this? A spaceman maybe or something? An astronaut?
Yeah, astronaut.
I think Gran Turismo, Firewall, Breachers, Among Us,
Phasmophobia.
and Phasmophobia. Phasmophobia is going to be popular because it's going to be fun, but it's going to be hard for, Kathleen is going to be busy.
Working overtime.
Kathleen is going to be
overtime.
working overtime in that game. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
those are going to be our main ones. This is going to be one of those that I think we add to the constant list.
Yeah. I'm excited about how much. Like, compare that list of games I can rotate compared to PSVR 1 when it was like, we could
Fuck,
play
nothing.
Firewall or we could play Werewolves Within. And that was
That's
it.
Where was within? Where was within was a shit.
It was
though. I
good.
wish we
I
would have
know,
played
yeah.
more of that.
Yeah.
You
I
can
wish
have
it
a
was
lot
on
of people
PS4
in a custom room on this. How many people can you play at the same time in this?
in Among Us?
Yeah, in Among Us, like if you just
Is
do
it
like your
8?
own.
Or is it like 10?
6 to 10 or
10.
something.
I'm not
Yeah,
too
so
sure.
there'd be a lot of. You wouldn't have to worry about too many people missing out if you.
Yeah, 10 is good.
Stream.
10 is
A
good.
lot of people
Like, we've
jump in
never
and play
filled.
them.
What's the most we've gotten in like Gran Turismo? Maybe
We
10?
hit 12. I think we hit 12 at one
Okay,
point. That was the highest we got. Yeah.
But that includes
think
people we
it's-
don't really know who just kind of showed up.
Yeah.
Right, but I think that we could probably get quite a bit with other, like when Breachers comes out, and because if Firewall had private lobbies that didn't have, you don't have to worry about any of this shit. I guarantee we'll have in Firewall always, 8 to 10 people that want to play overall. Not always, but a pretty good amount of time. I think it just limits because, we always play public and it's just 4 and all that type of stuff. So.
So that's it in terms of all these topics. So all that's left is the fax machine. So I'm just going to play that intro real quick.
It's
now.
that time again for questions and topics submitted by our viewers. So let's go to our fax machine and see
Tim
what we
Tucker.
have. Fax me harder, Daddy. I've been a
Okay.
bad boy.
You're Timmy Tucker now. Let's try to figure out which is the most recent one. What day is it today? 23rd. Okay, so we already got 2 today, so it's gonna be quick.
What?
We've only got 2.
No one wants to.
This first one is from the Governor of VR, aka Petey Hawkins. He says, question for each of you. What are your top 3 or top 5? I wish he would have said one or the other. Movies of all time. No particular genre. Literally any movie.
Oh, damn.
Will we pick? Will we go for 3 or will we go for 5?
Three is hard enough.
3. Okay.
Yeah.
I like a lot of movies. I watch quite a few movies, so this is gonna be hard to do.
All right.
But
I'm just Go ahead, you guys go first. 'Cause I might have to think about this. I think I already have them, but they're random.
I'm not gonna include like big franchise movies like Lord of the Rings because I don't consider or Star Wars because that's like a big like multi-movie thing. I'm just gonna think
What
of
if
it
you
like
can put
individual
like a trilogy? Can you put a trilogy as one entry?
Sure.
whatever.
Be lame. Be lame. Be cheater. Be a
Okay.
cheater.
Okay, well, don't do it then. Don't do it. That's fine.
We all like the Lord of the Rings.
I mean, Lord of the Rings would be on my top of my list, but I'm trying to think of like just single movies.
I got it.
Okay. Go ahead.
Pick of Destiny.
Pick of Destiny.
With Jack Black.
Jack Black.
Oh.
Jack Black. Fuck. The Wedding Singer. Fucking movie's hilarious.
This is best movie of all time. I mean,
you never seen The Wedding Singer?
I've
seen it, but
never even heard of it.
Best movie of your like all time for you? Damn.
It's just what else am I gonna say? Fucking, The Hills Have Eyes. Like it's just I'm not really into movies as much. I like that. I like Gladiator. Gladiator was the shit back in the day.
Gladiator's good.
Is that your top 3?
Gladiator's, I guess I would say literally, yeah, sure, whatever. Not. I really like Lord of the Rings. Like I said, there's a lot of movies like that. Lord of the Rings for me is one of my top overall.
Yeah, you can't pick just
shit,
one, though.
dude.
You can't just pick one of those. You have to have all 3.
I know. That's what I'm saying. And usually those are the movies like The Matrix. The Matrix 1 was fucking amazing.
Matrix 1 is
The
on my
Matrix
list.
2 sucks. The Matrix 3 was garbage. So that's why for me. But the Lord of the Rings for me, all 3 are just fucking amazing. They're long and they're not boring. And there's just the story, everything. It's just the quality, everything for me. Lord of the Rings is probably my top everything. Django is fucking amazing too.
Django Unchained.
Django Unchained. That was
Tarantino
fucking
movies.
great.
Very good.
Yeah,
I'll be
Kill
right back, 1
Bill.
second.
Probably shorted.
I'll say Matrix. The Prestige. You ever see that?
The Prestige. Sounds
Christopher
familiar.
Nolan Prestige, like Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale, 2 magicians that are fighting each other, trying to find out.
Oh
the
my
secret behind the
god.
tricks.
Is that your favorite movie?
You don't
Magician
like that? Yeah, I
tricks?
like that one.
I've never
That's
seen it. It
fucking
sounds
good.
lame as
It's
fuck.
really
But
good.
maybe if you like
You're a
magicians.
bitch. You are a bitch.
What's your third one?
Shit.
Can't be worse than that.
I'm struggling between a few. I'm thinking either Batman: The Dark Knight or Terminator 2. I don't know which is the third. Both of them are
Fuck,
up there.
dude. Fuck.
Sorry,
Yeah.
what
It's
were your
'cause
picks?
there's so many good
I
movies.
missed your picks.
So,
He said
first Matrix
Brokeback
film.
Mountain, The Notebook.
Ram Ranch. So Matrix, the first one, The Prestige, and I don't know if Terminator 2 or fucking what was the other one I said? Terminator 2 or
Fucking the Leprechaun
Gone out
movie.
of my head.
Leprechaun 4.
Shut your fucking
The
bitch
one
mouth.
the one on space.
The
one
Dark
that
Knight.
goes
The
to
Dark
space.
Knight.
The Dark Knight. That's
Yeah.
a good one too.
You Kill Bill is fucking good. It's just too many.
Christopher Nolan does make good movies. LSB. Although I haven't seen his new Tenet, and he did another one as well. I haven't seen the newer ones.
Heat has always been
No,
always on the top of my list for good
Heat.
best movies.
Is that the Keanu Reeves with the
Pacino.
bus?
No, that's
Oh,
No.
Speed. Speed is good. I like Speed though.
I don't like that much. But anyways, what's another one? Bus?
Damn.
So what? Heat?
Heat.
Okay.
I might say The Matrix as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not as fond. I'm
The
not
first
as
one?
fond of the other. Yeah, the first one. The other.
The first
if
one.
it,
Of course, the first one.
it should have. It should have always just been the first movie and never made a
Yes,
trilogy, in my opinion.
100%.
Yeah.
Damn, can you imagine meeting somebody who likes Reloaded more than the original or something?
They don't
Yeah.
exist.
A freak in nature.
Freak of nature.
No one believes you. Roy Schwartz says Natural Born Killers. Fozzie says Big Trouble in Little China. I watched that Big Trouble in Little China like a few years ago, and I was like, this is overrated. I don't know why.
Do Last Dragon with Bruce Lee. Is that the one? Last Dragon, is that the one
Last
with Bruce
Dragon
Lee?
and Goonies, he says. Goonies is a
Goonies.
classic.
Goonies is
Bruce Lee
good.
movies are badass, too.
Roy says Forrest Gump. That's an all-time as well. Not my top 3, but, you know.
What was your third one, Muzz?
He didn't say, did he?
No.
I
Still
can't.
thinking, he's struggling.
I watch too many movies. I can't narrow
What's
it
the
down
best-
to just one.
what's the best Canadian
horror
movie?
is An Exorcist.
What's the
That
best
can be,
Canadian movie?
Best
What are
Canadian
you-
movie?
What are you guys
I don't know.
proud of? They're like, oh, damn, this movie, we made it, and it stand out, and we're fucking proud of this.
I don't know. I probably watched one I didn't even know
Terrence
made.
and Phillip.
So.
Terrence and Phillip. Go big.
You know what's
say,
a really
"I'm the
good movie?
bigot."
I'm gonna throw this one in here just because maybe no one heard of it. Is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang? You ever heard that one?
Oh, is that a
Heard of it,
porn?
but I haven't. Is it like John Travolta in that?
No, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer.
Okay. I haven't seen this.
It's a really good movie. It's really good, like dark humor type of movie. But it has a couple scenes that are like some of the funniest, funniest scenes in a movie you would see in that one.
Okay.
You gotta check it out.
It's on the list.
I can't believe you haven't seen The Wedding Singer. What a bitch you
Never
are.
even heard of it. What the fuck is that?
It's Adam Sandler back in the day
Some
when his
star
movies were
Adam
good.
Sandler.
When his movies were
Stop.
good. Back in the
Americans
day.
are too obsessed with Adam Sandler movies. It's crazy.
No, back in the day when he first started, there was a couple of good movies, like The
Yeah, a
Water
couple,
Boy was
you
kind of
know,
good,
was alright.
and then it
Happy
was just
Gilmore was
trash.
okay, you know, but
Happy Gilmore was good. What is it?
all
The
time
Madison
fucking
was
top
it?
3 all time. Jesus Christ, come on, you can't have Adam Sandler in there. You can't.
Listen, there's too many good. There's some movies that just brings good memories. All right, it's not about the movie itself, but yeah, it was.
Mick says Dusk Till Dawn. You know that was I never heard of that when I was on TV one time. And I remember watching this, and then it's like a mad twist that happens halfway through. I assume you've seen this, have you?
Nope.
All right, I won't spoil the twist then, but I wasn't expecting where it
Don't
went
care.
at all. That was crazy.
Oh yeah, from Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah, it
Yeah.
goes. If you don't know like the premise, yeah.
Exactly. I
If you
never
just
heard
start
of
watching
it.
it
I
with
was just on TV.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I watched, and I watched it from the very beginning as well, like the credits and everything. I was like, damn.
yeah.
Con Air says Mick as well, a classic. Con Air.
Con Air.
Freddy Got Fingered is the best Canadian movie, says Fozzie Bear.
Is that Canadian?
I didn't know that was Canadian. There you go.
Wait, because it's
is
Tom
Canadian.
Green, right?
Tom Green, yeah, Tom Green
Oh,
is Canadian.
shit. Yeah, Freddy Got Finger is really.
I don't know if
fucking
it was
funny.
made in Canada, but
Smoking Aces says Move Master Mick. I think I've seen that, but I don't think it'll crack my top 100. Mick. Yeah, I
Dang.
think my top. Have you said a third? You have. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
We've all given 3.
Yeah.
Job done.
Yeah.
I'm glad it didn't involve body fluids
No,
and
not this
family
time.
members.
This time. Thank you, Pete, for the
question.
question. And the last question is from LSB. He says, what are your current thoughts on Meta and the Quest 3 as a whole?
You know what his thoughts are. Leslie, why are you trying to rile him up right now?
What?
Why are you trying to get him in a bad mood?
Well, I will say that I'm surprised, like, there's not as much noise around the Quest 3 as I was expecting. Like, it kind of seems
Really?
to have... Like, I'm not hearing as much about it, like, compared to Quest 2. And you said it earlier
Yeah.
that it doesn't have its own games, and that's probably what it is.
Well,
Not
it's the
yet.
same. It's just the same thing, but a little bit upgraded. Like the Quest 1 and 2. When the Quest 2 came out, the Quest 1 was still, what was it, a year or something in? So I
So-
think, like, there's not a lot of, the hype is there. Quest VR is there. Do you want a little bit nicer one or the other one? So I don't think that's why it didn't sold as much.
Listen,
So
all I'm
the
saying is that's
Assassin-
what I'm noticing. Go on, sorry, Moss.
the Assassin's Creed game and the Asgard's Wrath can also play on Quest 2, or are those only Quest?
Quest
They
2.
can?
Yeah, but
Quest 2, boy.
But
Quest
Asgard's
2.
Even-
Wrath, I've heard, is not amazing. It's just, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, but not. I think I've heard Assassin's Creed overall might be the better game. But they're both good, but I heard Assassin's Creed will be more of a selling, headsets than Asgard's Wrath.
Yeah.
All right.
That's my
LSB?
thoughts.
Oh, LSB's played the first one, yeah.
So what are your overall thoughts on it then, Moz? Quest 3 meta in general?
Quest 3.
And Mesmer.
Like I wouldn't mind having one if I can ever afford to get one, but I think it has potential. I've never really been like really diehard wanting to try like AR, but I'm interested to see what they can do with that, I guess, down the road and like implement it.
You think it sells
in
more
cool
than
ways.
Quest 2?
I think
Oh, what?
over time. I think it's gonna have like a slower start, mainly about the price, but I think it'll eventually have a price drop.
So hold on a second.
And
How
then-
it is? What is it? 500 or 4 something?
I think it's. Isn't it 500 US?
No,
It
well,
depends on which model you get.
there is a $500 version, which is the
it was
128
$4.99.
gig.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
yeah,
And then how much was Quest 2 when it came out? 400?
$299, I think.
No. When it
For
came
the
out?
No,
smaller
Day
version.
one?
it went
I
down
don't-
in price. No,
I
it
didn't
went
spend
down in price.
$400. I don't think I've ever spent more than, or maybe I did spend $400. I think it was $300, $299, dude. I don't remember now. But yeah, the quest right now, the Quest 3, like Mus says, the base version is $499. I didn't pay $500 for the Quest 2. I guarantee you that. I either pay $300 or $400. Maybe $300 was the small version, the 64 gig, and $100 more for the more expensive one. But right now you can get. That's why the Quest 3 is nuts. What would you want to do? You want to spend $500 on a Quest 3 that obviously slightly better and everything if you're new to VR, or you spend $250 half off, you get a Quest 2, and honestly, for half a price, dude, get the Quest 2. Like, you save a lot of money and you're not losing in a lot of things. Like Mus says, there's just not a lot out there yet. So I think that's why it's just not really selling as much. The Quest 2 does, if you don't have a VR, like you guys, you have a PSVR 2 and you don't have a PC VR, there's not really a point. You can find points, but there's not really a point for you to buy a Quest 2 if it's for the games, because the games on the PSVR 2, they play better in my opinion. But there's a lot of other games that they're not, like VR chat, the big screen. There's a lot of stuff, and honestly, being without a wire, it is not.
You also got
And
the
mods.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal to be without a wire, but with the wire, like on the PlayStation VR 2, it's not the big deal. But it is really nice not to have a wire either. Like, it's not that big of a deal to have it, but if you don't have it, it's also really, really nice. So there's a lot that does make sense. But as a PSVR 2 owner, it's not that easy of let me just buy this $250 in a Quest, because what are you know what I mean? You can play some things, but if you're new to VR, it doesn't make sense to pay double the price when you can get a Quest 2 perfectly fine.
Yeah, not right off the bat. I mean, eventually it'll get to the point where it's like surpassing it in every way eventually, and then it eventually will have a price drop, and then it will start taking over. It'll be a slow transition. But with the cord, sorry, I just want to say one last thing. I just want to say one last thing about the cord. The cord is not the issue for me. Is not that playing it, I could care less if it has a cord. The cool thing about it not having a cord is just the ease of like travel with it.
Yeah, you pop it anywhere. You're in the kitchen.
If
you just pop it in the.
If you're having like some kind of party, or
party.
if you're having like if you're having like a party at work or something, or like a staff party, you can just bring the VR headset and be just like, hey, try this out. It's like easy to bring around. Like, I can't bring my PS5 and my headset easily to like a place to have someone try it, right?
And then you stuff a little rag with chloroform on the inside, and then they put it on and they go to sleep. I like the way you're thinking, Mos. What I was going to ask is, how long before we see like a big exclusive that isn't on Quest 2 and only on Quest 3? Is that going to take a long time?
6 months to a year, maybe. A year. I don't know. They don't want to shoot themselves in the foot. It's like PlayStation is fine, but you don't want to shoot, because there's so many Quest 2s, and like I said, there's no big reason for the majority of people to spend the extra money and upgrade to the Quest 3 for the most of us. I just don't see why they would shoot themselves in the foot, because making a game is probably very expensive, especially
Well, you
for
want
the
to give them a
hardware.
reason. You have to give them a reason to go for Quest 3, surely. And
Yeah, but I don't
Not
know.
yet. Not yet.
I don't know if headset upgrades are in the same category as like a console upgrade. Like, are they the same? Like, in terms of like moving on from the previous generation?
Well, when
like,
it comes to PSVR, it is.
I guess.
So
Yeah.
Well,
I guess the Quest 2 to Quest
or
3 would be the same.
no,
So
but
you'd
it's
have
not
to
that big.
want to wait a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's more like
I mean-
mobile phones, where it's like an iPhone going from 11 to 12 or
Well,
whatever.
it just depends
Yeah.
what you use it for. If you use a PC VR, I've heard the connection is just a lot better because this headset allows for bigger,
Wi-Fi 6
bandwidth or
something,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, so and also the screen it has pancake lenses, the tracking is better. So it's a big upgrade, but visually from PlayStation 4. Well, I remember when I looked at the games on PlayStation 4 and then I bought them on PlayStation 4 Pro, I was like, holy fuck, like God of War or something. I was like, holy shit, it does look better. So I do think it looks better, but not as big of a leap for people to be like, oh man, I need to buy a Quest 3. Like, especially like you said, the games are not there yet for you to. It's like the PlayStation. When the PlayStation came out, of course there was exclusive, but it wasn't something that only on the PlayStation 5. We complain about Horizon because we're like, hey, it's gonna sacrifice a lot of the gameplay mechanics because they also have to support the other stuff, right? So I think it's too early. Maybe at least another year until we get a only Quest 3 game.
Is that game going to be GTA San Andreas?
If there's a game, there has to be that one because that's gonna make everybody make the jump, regardless of if it
That's
just
an
looks
old
a little
game,
bit
though.
better.
Yeah,
Why
it's
wouldn't
a
the Quest 2 would be able to play San Andreas? I'm sure.
I
Like,
think
it's not-
so.
Well, it
Yeah,
could
the
be like
graphics are
more
strict.
of a strategic move to force people into getting a Quest 3.
Yeah. I
Right.
mean, in my opinion, if I was gonna go out and buy a Quest, I would 100% buy the Quest 3 over the Quest 2. Like, why would I'm not? That's
But
just how I.
It's
I-
$500 though.
Even if it's
Yeah,
like,
but
half
why-
the price.
Compared to 250.
But I would be buying it for the future of what it can do.
Right.
And
But
I
the
could still
majority of
and I
people-
can, but I could still buy. Yeah, but I mean, the majority of the people. Why would you buy a headset that's 250?
Because not everybody
And then-
can afford $500. For the
No,
majority
but-
of people can't afford $500 for a headset. If they can jump in for 250, the majority of people, in my opinion,
Yeah.
I get your point. It's smarter to
But it's
think
going to be
about the
outdated.
future, but
it's going to be outdated, and then you're even.
not
Already
yet.
outdated. It's already outdated.
No, it's not out because what is the Quest 3 offer that the Quest 2 doesn't offer? It's not compared to the
Yeah.
PlayStation VR 2. Of course, it's outdated, but I think we're still too early for the majority of
Alright.
people to make that jump. It is smarter, like you
Maybe.
said, to buy the bigger headset and the one for the future proof. But I feel like it's still so early. This just came out, and there's nothing for you to be like, oh, I'm gonna make the jump unless you have the money. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna invest in the
Yeah.
future. But for most people, they're like, hey, these are my two options. Man, 250 versus 500 is like, especially people that they don't know about VR as much. For us, we understand that, but for people that are new, that's why I feel like it's just too early for them to start pushing people away from the Quest 2.
In this hypothetical situation, would these people be also planning on eventually getting the Quest 3, or just I'm going to buy the Quest? This is what I'm.
Well, I
gonna
think
stick with.
they want to get into VR. They want to get into VR, and then if they like it, some
Right.
people are like, yeah, this kind of stuff.
So-
Like, man, this is great. Oh, well, there's a Quest 3. What does it offer? Just like anything else, you get into phones, you get into smart watches, you get into that shit.
A best case scenario, though, someone buys a Quest 2 now at $250, waiting for a price drop for the Quest 3 down the road, and then the Quest 3 goes down to $250, and then they buy the Quest 3 at that price. Then why not just have spent that money on the Quest 3 to begin with? Because you're spending the same amount of money, right?
Because not everybody has, because it's double the difference. Like I'm saying, not everybody has
Yeah, I
the
know.
money. That's what I'm saying. If it was because
I
of that,
got
of course, everybody will jump and buy the 500. I just think it's not 250 versus $300. It's literally double the price. So that's why I feel like for now, it doesn't make sense. It makes more sense for people to spend the money and be future proof because the Quest 2, it's not going to stay. Let's be honest. It's not going to stay for another 2 years or 1 year without being as relevant as it is right now. I think it's going to get pushed out. But as of right now, like this Christmas season, I don't think most people are going to jump for the Quest 3, but it because I don't think they're going to.
I fucked it all up. Oh, jeez. I disconnected, that's why. Sorry
Why?
about that.
Are we back?
Are we done?
Sorry
Are
about
we
that.
done?
Just impromptu and
Anyways,
I
I'm
was
done.
trying to-
End call. End call.
Sorry.
That's my cue to shut up.
Hold on a sec. No, I'm sorry. I was trying to, because I can't do the soundboard on my laptop while it's running. So I was like, oh, what if I use my phone to do the soundboard? So I went into it and I just transferred it to my phone, and then it ended it on the laptop. And I was like, oh, jeez. So yeah,
You could have just ended it there. That would have been funny.
this
Yeah,
talking
we're
too much
done.
about the quests. All right, you reached my limit for quest conversation.
Clearly.
Okay, for 1 week.
Buy a Quest.
Don't listen.
If
to
you
me.
can afford it, buy a Quest
Don't
3. If you
listen to
can't
me.
afford it, just get in VR.
listen
Get
to
into
me.
VR.
So-
It's fun.
It's over. It's done.
Last thing. What would sell best this holiday season? Quest 2, Quest 3, or PlayStation VR 2?
Quest
what's
3.
the- what's the
Quest
best?
3.
Ooh. Quest 2.
You guys both think
$250.
Quest over the PlayStation VR 2?
Well, depends. For general people and sales, probably.
I'm just saying in
probably.
just
that
sales
there's
in general.
There's
Sales in general.
There's at least
Quest 2.
18 million Quest 2s out there, and how many
Yeah.
of those people are ready to upgrade? You know, that's what I'm thinking of. I think a lot of those
Christmas.
people will upgrade to Quest 3.
I'm
Yeah.
ready to upgrade,
That
but
would
I'm
be-
not
that would
going
be my
to, 'cause
guess too.
I don't need to upgrade yet. But we'll see. We'll see in a couple months.
Keep in
All
mind
right.
as well, the PS5 is more actually.
Listen,
if
you know
wanted
what
to
we'll
buy a
see? We'll
PS4, how much cheaper is it than a PS5? If you were to buy a PS4,
fucking, they're expensive. You would expect they're cheap as shit, but they're still very expensive for PS4s.
but not as expensive as a PS5, and PS5 is mopping
no.
mopping the floors. Of course, PS5 has the games, and Quest 3 doesn't yet. But
Well, PS4, who's gonna buy PS4? PS4 is gonna buy people like for their kid to get into PlayStation, and they buy a used
Well,
one
that's
so they
why,
can use play it.
that's why I think Quest 3 is gonna sell better. Sorry.
I agree. Anyway,
We'll
just
see.
wanted to-
We'll see at
just
the
wanted
end.
to know what you guys thought.
All right, it is done. Another episode of Touching Tips for another week. Episode 57, I think it was. So
It's a long ass one, was it?
it was nearly 3 hours. Nearly 3 hours.
Damn.
We had a lot to talk about there. It would have been longer if
Did we?
Jackpot was here at the very beginning. That would have been like another hour, I'd say. Jackpot. joined
No, I
halfway
heard
in.
there was a bunch of issues. Muzz didn't lick his microphone; it wasn't working. I
Oh yeah,
heard.
there was issues.
Yeah, delay at the beginning.
GG says LSB. Infinity Labs he says
GG.
I would love to get a VR headset, but I would have to sell my Series X and almost all my retro consoles just to get one. Well, I'll tell you right now, selling your Series X is absolutely the correct move to get. Even if you don't get a VR headset, just sell it. Get rid of that thing. It's only a paperweight.
Just
Yeah,
get a
Plus
quest.
there's
Get a
GG.
quest too.
Especially if you have a PC, because then you can just play your Game Pass games on your PC. You don't need the Xbox, so just get rid of
You
it.
can do it on your phone now, can you? Like they stream everything
Yeah.
on your phones.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
shit,
probably.
Xbox.
Probably.
Pass.
Get rid of
I
it.
played on this. I play Xbox on the Steam Deck too. I don't even need the Xbox.
Or keep it. Actually, keep the Series X as a collector's edition because they're super rare. Nobody's bought them. So it's gonna be worth something one day. I'm sorry, I just talk shit. I'm a Sony fanboy. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm gonna end
GG.
it. I'm gonna end it.
GGs.
Mr. Moz and Mr. Jackpot, thanks for joining.
Bye, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving to
GG.
Mr. Jackpot. Moz, you've already had your Thanksgiving, so not to you. And then
Me-
I never
me
get one. I never get one, so maybe you have some sympathy for me.
There's nothing to be
Yeah,
thankful.
nothing.
I don't have to thank anybody for anything. All right, I'm out of here.
GG.
Goodbye. And
Goodbye,
Later.
What
everybody.
the fuck is this?